那防疫期间，要请呢我们所有的观众朋友，请务必呢全程呢佩戴好口罩，而且呢场内呢是不能够吃东西的。不过呢喊到呢声嘶力竭的时候，导师呢可以补充一下水分。那要麻烦大家喝完水之后，赶快呢将我们口罩戴上，谢谢。那有人问说哪里有在卖水？大门口入口处精密制造那边有在卖水。那也请了我们观众朋友赶快呢尽速入座。那我们要关灯喽。哇，今天还有人扮演这个动漫角色哦。昨天没来吗？好，等一下礼物会丢那边。大家来到呢新竹街口工程师小师同乐会的现场。每到呢这个主题日，我们都会邀请到呢新竹呢在地的一些呢优异的小朋友来到呢我们活动现场。尤其呢新竹街口工程师对于所谓的属地的主义，可以说是呢相当的尽力。今天呢邀请到的是在各大比赛当中都屡创佳绩的新竹县东兴国中弦乐团，要为我们带来呢精彩的开场表演。东兴国中弦乐团成立呢第5年，由指挥呢刘翔宇老师的带领，屡获呢全国音乐的佳绩。今天呢，他们将为我们带来呢是圣保罗组曲的第1乐章，所以呢也是呢相当棒的一个作品。是不是呢？也请呢现场的朋友先给呢我们在地的新竹县东兴国中最热情的掌声鼓励一下。 再次感谢呢我们新竹县东兴国中弦乐团为我们带来呢精彩的开场表演。小狮同乐会正式开始。
大家好，我是今天的主持人延安，欢迎来到新竹街口工程师小狮同乐会现场。看到现场很多爸爸妈妈带着孩子到场，非常感动。小狮同乐会这样的主题活动，就是希望能从小培养运动习惯，用篮球改变一座城市。希望今天的大朋友、小朋友可以在我们的主场玩得开心。接下来欢迎我们的志燕哥。
谢谢现场的朋友，是不是给呢我们呢目前呢还就读呢国小5年级的延安呢最热情的掌声？记得呢，我们5年级的时候，我们还在爸爸妈妈给我5块钱，现在呢小朋友呢已经呢可以站在呢场中央。这也是呢我们小狮同乐会呢一直呢在宣导的一个主题。我们希望呢新竹街口工程师不仅仅呢是呢我们的最佳主场，我们也是一个最棒的一个亲子活动的一个主场。希望呢在每逢假日的时候，各位爸爸妈妈可以带着你们家的小宝贝，你们可以呢共同呢度过一个很棒的一个亲子时光。也希望呢今天所有的大朋友小朋友暂时呢放下你们年龄的一个界限，跟呢我们尽情的玩在一起。那当然呢，新竹街口工程师成立到现在呢，已经第2年了，也很感谢呢背后有很多人大力的支持。当然最要谢谢的就是我最常讲的，谢谢你，还有你，还有呢远方的你。也就是因为呢有这么多的你，才能够组成我们能够经营到了一个这么棒的一个主场。那接下来呢，也要为大家介绍呢今天到场的几位贵宾。首先呢，为大家介绍呢是我们新竹街口工程师的首任领队，欢迎呢是我们徐玉仁徐领队。以及呢，在我们场边呢，包括呢我们先捷集团的创办人，欢迎宣拔，欢迎。那接着呢，要为大家介绍的是我们大雁建筑的总经理，欢迎呢郑总经理今天特别来到活动现场。以及呢，安维斯租车的董事长，欢迎彭世邦彭董事长。接着呢，为大家介绍的是我们中国医药大学新竹附设医院，欢迎陈志亮陈院长。以及呢，我们11不动产的董事长，欢迎黄大龙董事长。富盛股份有限公司亚太区的市场部，欢迎呢是我们林子豪林经理。接着呢，为大家介绍的是我们医舍空气清净机，欢迎呢是我们吴世斌吴总经理。那今天呢，如果呢有医舍 Cam 的时候，也请呢各位呢场边观众朋友记得呢深呼吸，吸一口好空气，您就有机会呢带走相当多限量的纪念品。除此之外呢，也要为大家介绍的是我们教育不能等，欢迎呢是我们集上署的行销部总监，欢迎呢谢佑慈谢总监。台喜电子商务有限公司的执行长，欢迎呢詹宗颖执行长。也谢谢呢这么多的好朋友们，今天呢特别呢用行动呢来支持呢我们新竹街口工程师。那刚呢我们马上呢看完了我们东兴国中弦乐团之后，今天呢还有一段呢更精彩表演要呈现给大家了。欢迎呢我们新竹最强的 Mickey 儿童街舞工作室。现场的朋友跟着节奏拍手，给小朋友点鼓励。 接着登场呢是我们牧师女孩。
I ain't tryna. Yeah, ain't tryna be cool like you. Wobbling around in your high heel shoes, I'm clumsy. Made friends with the floor. 2 for 1.
要尖叫就大声的尖叫出来，耶！
Girl did was a bop and the whole damn cake and the cherry on top. Shook up the bottom, made a good girl pop. You ain't need to hear the party. Ken in the club tryna pipe a Barbie. I don't wanna go with the flow back then until I touch my toes. I don't wanna roll the boat. Wrist full of rocks and I hope I float. Big up yourself 'cause you know they don't. I choo 'cause they hope I show. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, I'ma shine like glass.
最热情的掌声，谢谢牧师女孩以及呢新竹最强的 Mickey 儿童街舞工作室。那在新竹县呢有一个呢特色学校，新竹县琼林乡的碧潭国小，在学校呢也成立了碧潭阅读电台，从写稿、播音、转场的音乐，通通都是自己来。他们也用声音呢带领了全校来认识了图书馆的新书，所以我们今天特别邀请了2位小主播，为我们介绍客队球员进场。
大家好，你今晡日是负责下水小界嘅四主播，
我是碧潭国小嘅钟润橋，
那是碧潭國小嘅唐冰月，
你來歡迎今晡日嘅下水台視夢想嘅首先電衝嘅球員係轉過來，
對號0號陳正傑，
接下來係
8號王正元，11號林俊吉，14號吳永勝，18號楊勝燕，21號簡浩，23號錢肯尼，24號辛沃克，26號李德威，34號吉爾貝克，42號布伊德，97號鄭子陽，最後是7號前新竹球員陳立煥。
總教練
朱利爾斯，
助理教練
賴柏林、劉文和、羅伊雅克斯，
球員發展總監
田磊，
體能教練
蔡明達。
谢谢，我们谢谢呢2位小朋友，为我们带来了客场的介绍。 在梦想家当中呢，我们有一位呢相当熟悉的球员，之前呢可以说是我们工程师的本土的得分王，人称前新足球王的陈立焕。去年呢也能拿下呢我们年度的第1队。那我们也虏获了相当多少女的芳心，又爱又恨的心情。我们呢最后一次呢给前新足球王陈立焕最热情的掌声。接下来呢，我们就会用呢奇怪的方式来欢迎陈立焕了。不过呢，陈立焕呢第一次回娘家，我们还是呢做了一支影片呢，要送给立焕，也请呢所有的朋友请看大荧幕。我们新足球王陈立焕。For that fortune and you feel that blue where everything you wanna hear is turning into no's. When you got something in your heart they never know. You flow with your heart, you flow with your faith, you flow with the love, baby, love for the good. You can't hold me. 成功了，老师。You can't. 加油，好吗？再来！胜利是谁的？Are you ready? Ready to roll! 马上呢，为各位介绍呢我们新竹街口工程师球员进场。
我的爸爸邓宇轩。Number 6, my daddy 陈建安。小烈，邱云涵。我是小杰，云涵。小迪佑，小帅，小沈一。我的爸爸汪小杰。Number 54， 男子汉吴代豪。
接着呢，为各位介绍了新竹街口工程师先发的名单 ，Starting Five。工程师。
12号队长李佳瑞。Number 22 Lawson
背号35号，狮子王，劲霸。背号37号，灵异鬼林怡欢。助理教练粉星和技术顾问陈志柱，总教练李干南是我的代表。
另外呢，包括呢我们体能教练黄胜富、影片分析师宇吉伦、防护员呢黄建元、欧博宏。现场的朋友准备呢跟着呢陈坚恩一起来大喊哦 ，respect 哦，借用各位的声音。做一个简单的问卷调查，请问一下呢，第一次来新竹街口工程师的主场的朋友在哪里？第一次来的，啊，你昨天有来啊？第一次来的，好，再问一下，昨天有来的举手。昨天有来的举手。好，也谢谢呢各位呢持续呢来到了我们的主场，来到谁的主场就该听谁的。那今天呢也是呢我们台新梦想家篮球队那第一次呢造访了我们的新竹街口工程师的主场，所以呢我们还是呢以礼待人。我们这边呢有准备了一份呢纪念品，我们也要邀请了我们 Lisa 姐来到我们活动现场，也要麻烦呢是我们梦想家呢我们球员发展总监，我们欢迎田磊来到我们活动现场，我们代表呢致赠接受纪念品。好，谢谢 Lisa 姐，也谢谢田磊。收礼物你就知道了嘛。 那趁着这个时候呢，也问一下我们第一次来的朋友，这边有很多是第一次来的吗？第一次来的举手。可能有很多呢，我们工程师的一些舞蹈动作，大家呢都还不够熟悉的。那我们呢，就让呢啦啦队呢带着大家，我们请牧师女孩也带着大家呢一起来动一动。那我们在赛前的时候，要拿出真正功夫的时候，来音乐。好，这个时候如果方便的时候，要麻烦大家站起来哦。开赛前的时候会做了哈。Everybody was a kung fu fighting. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Shoo, 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 shoo. 对，对，对，对。Ho, ho, ho, ho. 咻咻咻咻！对，好，那还有呢？当然我们呢有一些呢比较精彩的时候，大家就会跳起呢我们工程师 Go 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 来音乐。工程师。好，几个简单的动作呢，我们呢通常在跳完这边的时候。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. We made it to round one of the Lioneers Dreamers Tussle. In these parts, we call it 血流成河. I'm Ryan Chen along with Kirk Long, bringing you this broadcast in English. On your screen right now is the matchup card tonight. Formosa Taishin Dreamers, first time playing the Hsinchu Lioneers. Welcome, Kirk, to the broadcast. We have a lot to get to. Kind of recapping this matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be an explosive matchup, Ryan. Excited to be back in the building here in Hsinchu, and just for another exciting day of the P.LEAGUE.
It's game 21 of the regular season inside the Windy City. There is the current standings where the Dreamers are the top spot of the league at 4-2. Lioneers, after last night's loss to the Steelers, dropped to second place, a half a game behind. In the evening, it will be the Taipei Fulham Braves taking on the New Taipei Kings. That's coming off their very exciting overtime victory at the home of the Braves. On screen right now are Mandarin broadcasters. On the left, Xiaohu Hu Junqi, and on the right, Eddie Zhang Yaozong. 球迷朋友要找到英文转播，要看中文的转播，按中文的转播连接。So to get things started, there's only 4 teams in the Plus League last year. And this particular matchup is one that generated a lot of, shall we say, sparks. The Dreamers won the first 4 head-to-head. Then game 37, there was a collision around midcourt. 2 players injured for the game. And then they had the altercation, to put it lightly, in the next meeting here in Hsinchu County Stadium. This is kind of the site, and these are the 2 players when it comes to, as you see on screen, some very enthusiastic signage describing the rivalry. Now added to it is the change of teams. Calvin Chen Lihuan, the deputy captain from last season of the Lioneers.
Yeah, Calvin's definitely a player who, you know, plays with emotion and passion, and definitely somebody when he was in that Lioneers jersey that this home crowd enjoyed rooting for. And so definitely a lot of mixed emotions going on in the building to see him return in that Dreamers uniform.
He's getting into form, as in the first 4 games, it was averaging 5.5 points per game, but the last 2, a victory over the Steelers in Kaohsiung, and their last victory on Friday night against the Braves. So now he's 13 and then 14 points consecutively. He was the Plus League first team and Plus League all defensive team last year and the top domestic scorer for the Lioneers. So in a lot of ways, a very productive player. It is a huge move in the Plus League offseason.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Coach Kyle Julius is going to keep making the most out of him as they get comfortable and build that chemistry as a team. He's a guy that can shoot 43% from three-point range so far this season, so he has that length to stretch the floor with shooting, but can also attack the basket. And like you said, that defense is huge for him also.
So as we mentioned, the Dreamers Lioneers have a lot of history, but new to this rivalry is Zim Bular, who's averaging 26, almost 27 points and 20 rebounds.
Yeah, Bular, just big explosive day yesterday. You know, maybe their team in general was just one play away from it, but it wasn't lack of his effort or ability as he was continuing to dominate in the post, and it should be a good matchup today as we see the Dreamers and what they can do to counter against him.
The Dreamers are well known in Taiwan for trying to play smaller. So this offseason, they did find Brandon Gilbeck, an import center, and Doe is coming off the bench for every game this season. But still, how do you get the help over? How do you intercept those high passes will be a difficulty for them defensively.
Yeah, I think Gilbeck will be one of the tougher defenders that Bular will face this season. But a lot of things, going back to yesterday, the Steelers were able to stretch the floor and make it hard for Bular defensively to come out and guard the perimeter. So we'll see if Gilbeck will be able to have that same effect on the offensive side.
Also, one huge storyline for this game is the return of Brendan Dawson from his hand injury. That was 29 days ago when the Lioneers opened on December 11th on a block shot close to us on this side of the floor. He's been out for a long time. Nick Faust has been in his place, scoring on the basketball well. Brandon Dawson brings a different element, though, with his energy.
Yeah, definitely. I think Brandon Dawson is just one of those guys that mentally he just is always in attack mode and ready to go and can be very explosive and dangerous. You just can't take any possession off against Brandon Dawson. He'll make you pay.
He averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds per game last season for the Lioneers. Came over from the SBL, was part of their push to get into the Plus League postseason in the playoffs. But the Dreamers all but eliminated them from that March 27th key game with the altercation on the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure Brandon Dawson, more than anyone, he just wants to get back out there on this court and just get that last taste out of his mouth. And he has that opportunity against the Dreamers here today. And so it should be an intense and yet exciting game.
The Lioneers make one last adjustment to the facilities here, not shown on camera, as Kirk and I go back and forth a little bit more on our broadcast. Yesterday, the Lioneers had the feeling that they were making their comeback and ended up being 1 point short. Missed free throw by Evan, but throughout the process of the game, it felt like they weren't taking advantage of Bular against Keith Benson with foul trouble and maybe Tank giving up 30, almost 40 centimeters.
Yeah, you do have to give credit to the Steelers. The Steelers had a great game plan and they followed it all 48 minutes, and the Lioneers just had that third quarter where they really shot themselves in the foot. And you know, when you play these teams in the P-League with so much talent, you can't have those bad minutes or those bad stretches, and they definitely will look back at that third quarter and be motivated today to play hard for all 48 minutes and make the most of it.
On screen is the starting lineup for the Dreamers from left to right. Jeff, Wu Yongsun, Calvin, Chen Li Huan, Kenny will be joined by Gilbeck and Boyd. For the Lioneers, Li Mei is back in the starting lineup, along with the captain Evan Lee, Jia Rui. And of course, always in the lineup is Ryan Ling Yihui with Bular and Brendan Dawson. Calvin he played all 24 games last season in a 24-game schedule for the Lioneers. I mentioned averaging 13 points per game is the fourth most among local players. He's getting his greetings and welcomes from the Lioneers. Only Bular and Ryan are the teammates that he did not get to play with. But with this Dreamer squad, we'll get into it some more, have been on the path of upward trajectory for guys, especially like Kenny, Chen, maybe like Guys like Achi and Walco, and even you can say Derek Lidoway with his three-point shooting.
Yeah, most definitely. They had some injuries to start the season, had some couple losses, but they're definitely excited and glad to be in the spot they are in today.
Because it is the Lioneers juniors and their 小师同乐会, kind of a youth-themed weekend. Good job to the young fan for getting us set. The tip is up, and Kenny will get control of it. Pass to Calvin is Aaron, and here come the Lioneers. Limi, as we mentioned, starting again in place of Oscar. After yesterday, Tianhao got the start. Brendan Dawson's going to get an isolation on Boyd with a little bit of room. Makes the fadeaway.
Fadeaway for Brendan Dawson, and then the little roar afterwards, and he's excited to be back, and the fans get off their seat cheering for him.
Ready to roar is the Lioneers slogan for the second season. Jeff probing. Now Boyd to the basket, lays it in.
Yeah, Boyd just one of those strong bodies also, as those guys trade baskets together, and Bular just a little bit late on the help side defense.
Here's Dawson cutting left and able to finish around Gilbeck's block attempt.
Yeah, gets back to the same spot, and just that killer instinct, wants to get to the basket, wants to create high percentage shots.
Calvin on the screen, but Ryan blows that up. So as Jeff leaves a little short, here's Lioneers.
One thing to note from the Lioneers yesterday, only 2 fast break points, so they would love to get some easier baskets off of stops and push that ball in transition.
Baseline drive cut off, and the referees are going to talk it over. Part of professional sports is having free agency and a lot of player movement, and so Calvin was meant to, I would say, probably be out 4-1 boos to cheers as he was introduced. And
yeah, in some ways that's just a form of flattery. They respect him, they miss him, and they want to, you know, they wish he was still there. And it's always hard to have transition from team to team, and you make memories, and you hit big shots for one team, and the fans don't want to forget about those moments.
Less than 2 minutes into this one, the Lioneers issue a challenge on the out-of-bounds call. Yesterday there was also a highly contested game, but that's to be expected whenever teams are trying to figure out how to guard Bular in the middle. We got Nick Faust driving to the basket.
Yeah, it's a physical game. It's a contact sport for sure, Ryan, and you know, teams are fighting for each possession. We look at this building just 24 hours ago when we were in here, you know, that game was decided by 1 point, and each possession is so important. And these guys lay it there out on the line, and the Lioneers won't win that challenge, as the Dreamers will come away with it.
Good eyes for the referee, seeing Dawson. One less timeout for the Lioneers in the first half. Though the context we need to add is Calvin, when he changed teams in the introductory video for social media, as Gilbeck misses the mid-range. Calvin in that video said what his goal is to 血流成河, which is a very, let's say, challenging statement about letting the rivalry grow. Bular with a post-up to Dawson on a right-side dribble, 3 for 3.
And I think he's excited to be back on the court. You can just tell by his energy, he's on top of his shot. And good job by the Lioneers to make sure that he was just physically ready before he came back to game day. And I would say he's ready.
Gilbeck got caught underneath, throws it off of Bular. Not a great offensive possession, if you ask me. They have 10 more seconds. Coach Julius patrolling the sidelines. On the inbounds, Jeff will shoot the mid-range. Couple bounces and now, and Dawson, just like that, securing the rebounds. Here comes the Lioneers push, but an errant pass. Calvin doesn't challenge Bular. Does Gilbeck, who left it short.
That's where the Steelers were really able to capitalize yesterday. Those little mid-range jumpers with Bular not being able to close out and contest those shots.
Came off the bench in Friday's game, but Boyd in the starting lineup will take his fade away, and that's off the side of the backboard. Here come the Lioneers. Leaning way to the middle, blind pass to Dawson, who overshoots it. Would have been a highlight play, but here come the Dreamers with numbers. Calvin from this corner splashes it down on the net that was just adjusted.
Just adjusted, and he's made plenty of those shots in that corner in this stadium, and Lioneer fans just happy because it's not 3 points for them.
There's a hand check foul. Jeff trying to guard Li Mingyi.
Yeah, Mingyi really played well yesterday with his energy, as we see the replay there. And corner spot up 3 for Calvin to get things rolling for him.
Li Mingyi last season was a later addition to the team. He did average 17 minutes played when he did get on the floor. Again, Lioneers without Oscar, still dealing with the leg contusion. Now it's Dawson trying to post up Kenny. Tough way away is out. Now stealing the basketball, no one there, and it's a two-handed slam. The welcome back party for Dawson continues. First 8 points of the Lioneers by number 22. Now they're trying to apply pressure. Get the steal, here's Li Mingyi. Books the errant alley, and Evans able to finish at the rim.
Well, that didn't take long, Ryan. Already, the Lioneers with more fast break points today than what they had last night, as they show their commitment to pressure the ball in the backcourt, create steals, and get those easy baskets.
We'll move to a break and be back after this. Hey viewers, like the stream to support the Plus League. As we are here inside Hsinchu County Stadium, voted the best home court of the Plus League's inaugural season. And we're getting to experience firsthand how they welcome back their former mainstay players. One Calvin and Li Huan, whose Dreamers are actually having trouble against pressure on their backcourt. They applied pressure against the Braves to good success for their opening day win, and now a half-court pressure is actually giving them problems, and the Lioneers lead this by 5.
Yeah, Mingyi really did a great job just coming into the game yesterday and adding that pressure. He's taking off what he started yesterday, and Dawson, of course, with that strip earlier in the game. So those steals and transition points will really be something that will lift them when they don't have to just rely on Bular post game, but they can get some other easy baskets in the paint.
Gilbeck hands off to Kenny, who has his shot erased. Looked like by 2 Lioneers at the same time.
Yeah, Kenny Chen shoots more free throws than just about anybody else for the Dreamers, so he takes it to the basket strong here. Goes up with the left hand, but the length by Evans just able to get a piece of that one and send it out of the court.
Now Boyd going to the basket. Nice hang, but can't finish. No substitutions for either team as Lioneers conducts traffic from the top. Poked out of bounds by Boyd. They were setting up a big-to-big screen with Bullard and Dawson. Very different than how they'll play with Nick Faust. Get another look at the block shot.
Yep, definitely different players when you think of the two imports that are taking turns. Faust really explosive in the transition, shoots those quick three-point shots, and Dawson here just showing more of that strength and mid-range game and getting to the basket.
Now Gilbeck with a nice chase block against Ryan. Dreamers get it up court. Jeff with room, his jump shot is out. Struggling from the floor big time are the Dreamers.
Yeah, that'll be a key component that they need to knock down those mid-range outside shots against these Lioneer teams with Bullard in there and controlling the paint. That's where the Steelers had a lot of success yesterday around the perimeter.
There's a foul down low, and Bullard able to finish up high.
Yeah, just nice little spin move, showing some good footwork from the center position, and a nice little jump hook to finish after initiating or getting the contact.
That'll be our first substitution in the game. Aji in for Jeff. And Derek will come in for Gilbeck. Derek lead the way. Familiar with Bullard as they played each other in the SBL, as Coach Julius giving instructions to Gilbeck. Got to keep those hands out.
Yeah, these teams played, I believe, in the preseason, and Gilbeck getting in a little bit of foul trouble in that game. And so Coach Kyle Julius just taking that precaution to make sure that he has Gilbeck throughout the game, and especially later in the game when they'll really need him the most defensively.
Number 24, Kuosao is the game, guarding Calvin tightly as he forces up a tough shot, is out. Another offensive possession for the Lioneers with energy. To Evan, he hesitates. Been very passive shooting the three ball. Bullard fires it across, and now Dawson on Boyd. Spinning, tough shot with a contest, it's out. Lingmi throws it back, but Calvin's there to intercept. Calvin seeking the unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, it almost looked initially like the ref was going to put his hand up to signal that type of a foul, as the contact was high. And looks like they will review the play to make sure there was no excess of physicality on that play, unnecessary roughness.
Calvin probably smartly identified. Kuosao try to go with both hands, and so when you do that, it's hard to imagine you're actually going for the basketball, which is one of the 5 criteria for an unsportsmanlike foul in the FIBA rulebook.
Yeah, they'll definitely be able to look at it, and Calvin was wrapping the ball around his back, so, you know, looks like they will get some extra free throws and maintain possession as they upgrade that call.
Kuosao yesterday was called for getting his elbows involved on a layup attempt where he was fouled. That was actually, we got clarification, was called a double foul. So therefore, when they went to the monitor, they could assess the foul on one player from each team. So Kuosao with the early unsportsmanlike foul, fortunately, kind of breaking the momentum. The Lioneers building up this 8-point lead. Calvin sinks the first free throw. Kuosao from the Braves last season scored 7 points in 15 minutes last night.
Yeah, he hit a big, crucial three-pointer as the Lioneers got back into that game, and he had a chance late in the game to take the lead again in the last minute, and it rimmed out from the same spot. But he getting some early minutes here and definitely brings some great defense and shot-making ability.
Doug Creighton will come into the game. He's sitting up on the far corner from the inbound.
Yeah, he scores 8.6 points per game for this Dreamers squad and can definitely stretch the floor a lot, knock down those outside perimeter shots.
Derek provides the screens. He made a career-high 6 3-pointers, but it's Achi who sinks a 3, his first shot of the game.
Yeah, Achi just came up from sort of the development junior team of the Dreamers and has just been a great addition since last season for their squad. It just can control the tempo of the game well, understands what his team needs him to do.
Looked like an air ball by Dawson shooting from 3-point range. As Boyd will fire away, but it's off iron and out of bounds harmlessly.
Yeah, Boyd definitely able and capable of knocking down those 3-point shots. This season, though, he has struggled a little bit from beyond the 3-point arc. He's loved to be shooting a little bit higher percentage, but he is willing to continue to take them. And Coach Kyle Julius, I know, has the confidence in him that can turn around.
An interesting substitution as Coach Greg Lynn for the Lioneers brings in Bullard and Wesley Wutaihao. Like to play those guys together. Now an offensive foul. Bullard and Jake Wosaojie nearby for that one.
Yeah, it looks like you got a screen. He's trying to set a screen to draw some attention out, and just maybe too much of a hold there. With his hand extended out to set that screen. So tough call. You got to be physical and try to help your big guy get open, but you got to be able to stand your ground.
Derek from the corner, he swirls it in. After a career high 24 points on Friday, he saw former teammate and former Dreamer Tank Wambutsu score 25 on this floor. Some magic going on with that development program. Now Bullard trying to bully Derek, gets the and one. Looked like he was playing good defense up until the shot.
Yeah, Bullard just extra motivation right here. Normally with that good defense on you wouldn't be able to keep fighting to the basket, but that time just willing his way into the paint, able to take the contact and close enough to the basket where he could still finish the shot.
Bullard is the second most scorer for the Lioneers. In the early goings, 5 points, 4 rebounds already. We expect that rebounding margin to favor the Lioneers. But like you said, crucially, it's about the defensive rebounds. Doug probing, back to Boyd, tries again from 3, it's still out. On the baseline, tough finish, no basket, but the foul. Wosaojie will go to the line.
Yeah, just aggressive to the basket, baseline drive. Wesley was pinning the help side defense into the lane, and good strong take.
Gilbeck will come in for Boyd. As I was going to say earlier, the Dreamers are doing a good job not fouling, but they already have 4. Lioneers will be in the bonus for the rest of under 40 minutes.
Yesterday they were able to get in some penalty early in quarters 2, but then it felt like after the Steelers would get up to 5 fouls, and then the Lioneers almost, weren't as aggressive to the basket. But that is the time where you want to continue to be aggressive, and when teams are trying to stop the fouling, and you got to force them to play better defense.
After the free throw, Tiao, number 9, will come into the game as there's an illegal screen, it looks like, by Gilbeck.
And that's where teams just have to adjust. Both teams have been called by one. The officials are looking for it. You know that players here are both trying to fight for space and create open shots for teammates, and the referees are on top of it so far here today.
Walker's in the game. He's right now guarding Tiao. The Dreamers do like to switch a lot. right now on the perimeter at least. They used to be, they switched everything. A little bit of a late call, but Tianhao did get a hit to the face. And so, like we mentioned, it will be free throws.
Yeah, free throws are from here on out, like you said, Ryan, and we'll see the replay here. It wasn't too much there, just a hand in the passing lane, but
so Derek, he's got really long arms, try to, like you said, get in the pass, but caught Tianhao in the face instead.
Tianhao did a good job, selling it a little bit, was contact.
First free throw is in.
Much different first quarter for the Lioneers defensively. Yesterday giving up 32 points in the first 12 minutes. And today they have just been more dedicated getting back on defense, not giving up fast break points, and able to close out and grab rebounds.
Aji with the hanging mid-range shot, got it to go.
That's just a lot of quickness, a good elevation on his jump shot, high release, able to get that shot off as Aji is, you know, from just looks, you wouldn't see just how quick he is and how crafty he is with the ball. But definitely one of those players that can create for himself.
Aji commits the foul, getting in Bular's way. Thankfully nobody got hurt on the play, but it will be a foul indeed. One of those setup, and the pass I noticed was really early. The Lioneers want to take advantage of the referee's eyes going to the basketball on a play like this.
Yeah, Aji does need to step up there or else it's going to be an easy dunk. So he did stop 2 points, but like we mentioned earlier, in penalty already are the Dreamers, and so we'll see if Bular can capitalize at the free throw line.
Makes the first free throw. He was 11, making 11 on 12 shots, so really improving his free throw percentage, and currently 3 for 3 on the afternoon.
Yeah, so many centers. I mean, you think about how he holds the basketball, it would be like somebody else holding almost a baseball, and you know, and it's hard to get a good feel for the ball. But I feel like the way Bular shoots the basketball, he does have a soft touch for a big man, and we don't see him shoot those mid-range shots in the flow of the game. But from the free throw line, you do feel like his form and technique is able to knock him down.
An air ball by Derek, but Walco's there for the rebound. On the reload, Aji. This is left. Boyd jumping in for another, but throws it to Dawson, who will start the break. Lioneers swinging around. Now Bular with the left shoulder spin and able to tap it in.
Wow. You go from the right side of the rim with a tap, and so easily he's so crafty with both hands, he ends up tapping it in with the left hand right after.
But a quick counter by Aji. As now the Dreamers will be playing full court the whole way. Elliott inbounds the basketball. Now Dawson on the switch. Lioneers have the Dreamers scrambling, but are running low on time. Elliott pulls up and rolls it out. To the basket, Boyd getting the goaltending on Dawson. Definitely got to be careful with hands around the basket. He's okay now, but it was a goaltending violation.
Yeah, I'm sure he's learned his lesson. He doesn't want to get injured in the same way. But this is one thing that the Dreamers will want to capitalize on, is getting defensive rebounds and getting these transition points. So good job that time for the Dreamers to just get that ball up ahead.
Aji got his hands on it, and it will be a turnover by the Lioneers. Well, just one defender able to guard 2 Lioneers in the backcourt. That can't happen.
Yeah, Aji just getting his fingerprints all over this game, passing the ball, setting up teammates in the break, knocking down shots, and even on the defensive end, stopping lay-ins and getting steals in the backcourt.
On the inbound, Boyd had that shot blocked, but it's going to be a foul. He's still down, but slowly making his way up. The referee indicating to Dawson after the block it was maybe contact to the face. We'll see it again.
From our angle, we could only see the block, but definitely with the follow through, hit across the face there.
And well known for a difficult place to play. The fans immediately react to the video board. Though I think, to be fair, I think the Lioneers would like that call for themselves on the other end. As you know, Brendan Dawson likes to go to the rim, and so do a lot of their players.
Yep. In most jobs, and several jobs, you can't be biased. But as a fan, it's okay to be a little bit biased. Of course, you always want that call to go your way.
Making the first free throw, it's just a 4-point game. So does the second one. Lioneers are going to finish the quarter without Bular.
Dreamers playing that zone defense now. We'll see what the Lioneers can craft up. They got plenty of shooters on the court.
Elliott back to Tien Ho. That good corner for him is short. Dawson almost had the rebound, but here come the Dreamers. Walko can't hit the wing three, and now the Lioneers with a chance. Going Sen's in the game. He fires from deep, and he misses it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the look the Lioneers want early on in the shot clock. He's definitely capable of knocking down those perimeter shots, but would have liked to see a little bit more ball movement on that last possession.
Excuse me, that's still Wesley in the game. As Achi goes down the middle and got fouled. Tien Ho trying to guard him.
Yeah, good strong foul to make sure Achi wasn't going to get a good shot up. Look at that. Does go for the ball though, so basketball is a contact sport a lot of times.
Notice that the Lioneers are actually trying to withstand the Dreamers a lot of penetration. That's often without Bular or sometimes with the men.
Yeah, the Lioneers are trying to, the Dreamers, you know, three-point percentage as a team, they got a lot of guys who can knock it down from deep also, and Lioneers running them off the three-point line. And when the defense has that momentum to close out the shooters, that's oftentimes when players can take advantage of driving to the basket, and that's what the Dreamers have done so far today.
Still in their 2-3 zone. Dawson to Yunghao on the left side. His three, too strong, but there's Dawson to put it back in. Less than 10 seconds. Dreamers still down by 4. Derek gonna go one-on-one against Bular. His fadeaway is no good. So pretty good back and forth action in the first quarter of the Lioneers Dreamers.
Yeah, great first quarter. Defensively, teams engaged and making each other earn every basket, and a lot of exciting plays so far.
这个请掌声，谢谢牧师女孩。那我们在这一场比赛呢，我们来介绍一下 Tomo 好了 ，Tomo，Cam 妹。 跟大家呢自我介绍，让大家呢我们每周呢来介绍一位牧师女孩，跟大家自我介绍一下，快要出道了嘛。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Tomo，T-O-N-O 的 Tomo。然后呢，我的专长是一些特技，就是常常在场上看到一些翻来翻去的，基本上都有我。
Plus League social media has you covered for the highlights of all the exciting action. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Lioneers lead after the first quarter by 4 points. And the highlight has definitely been Brendan Dawson coming back from injury, and immediately the Lioneers going to him on some isolations, but his ability in the open court, second to none.
Yeah, he scored 6 points real early, super fast, and I felt like the Dreamers defense was able to sort of slow him down a little bit after the beginning few minutes, but still definitely a guy who saw the ball go through the hoop enough, and he's going to continue to play with a lot of confidence and be aggressive out there. So good start by Dawson to just give his team an extra spark there in the first quarter.
Back out on the floor is Bingmi, Ryan, Junhao, Bular, and Dawson. For the Lioneers, for the Dreamers, it's Doug Creighton guarding the inbound. Aji, Boyd, Derek, and Walco.
Dreamers in the zone defense.
Aji commits the foul on the perimeter. I gotta believe, though, that's what the coaches want out of him, to be very aggressive. His second personal.
He plays with a lot of confidence out there. Enjoys playing with tremendous passion. You just see he loves to compete, and he's trying to do as much as he can for his team.
Junhao with the way deep three, and it's an offensive rebound by the Lioneers as Bular misses the dunk attempt. Now Lingmi able to collect the offensive rebound and also got one of those swipes to the face. Early foul for the Dreamers. 2 fouls in one possession, you could say. Initially, you thought they had the good fortune, but then lost track of one little rebounder.
Yep. Ming-Yi just both sides right now. These guys going after each other should be a great matchup, not only for today, but throughout the season as these two teams play each other.
Now back in man, Ryan will fire from the left side. It's short, and Kenny able to get the rebound. Boyd with the baseline J, too strong. One thing's for certain, the Dreamers don't intend on staying around for their own offensive rebounds. Deep positioning for Ryan, and it's a block shot. Aji to Doug in transition. His three is pure.
That's what that veteran Doug can do, and you don't want to give him much daylight. He's been doing that in the pros here for a long time, and he just needs a little bit of space. So he's definitely a guy that the Lioneers don't want to get going, as we see another foul 40 feet from the basket that might not really be necessary, especially for the guy that's been a spark here in the first half for the Dreamers.
But he'll be replaced by Jeff Wu.
Yeah, Aji with 3 fouls. So Jeff Wu definitely able to come in and offer that same spark. But the Dreamers will miss Aji if he has too much foul trouble here today.
Jeff Wu also no slouch on defense. Dawson fakes right, goes left, loses the basketball out of bounds. So far, the Lioneers with 5 turnovers, 4 for the Dreamers. Boyd screens, gets the pass late, and Junhao comes away with it. So loose with the basketball, and he turns it over. Jeff getting past Ming-Yi, missing the mid-range. Still over as Doug misses, and the Dreamers not going with the English broadcaster. Almost got that offensive rebound. And Buller on the left block. Flips up the shot and stuffs it back home.
And that's a different look by the Dreamers. There was no double team who came. They just let them go one-on-one in the post. And that's going to oftentimes be what happens when Bular's able to get that much time and get those big steps going to the basket.
But on the other side, the Dreamers coax a foul out of the Lioneers in transition, or in part transition. We see on the replay immediately, Derek knows the Bular rules, sprints down court. Gilbeck will come in the game, as will Calvin. Boyd missed with the missed free throw. He is one of the better free throw shooters on the Dreamers team.
Shooting about 78%, and he has that strong body. He gets there often and makes the most of it at most times, but maybe it's those purple and white balloons that those Lioneer fans are throwing out. Just able to distract him just enough to have a couple misses.
So Kenny guarding Ryan Tiley. Bular with a deep position and getting the foul out of the Dreamers.
Yeah, just a great pass by Ryan to recognize that's when the defense can oftentimes fall asleep, is on the weak side. And when you can throw that lob pass from cross court with accuracy, you're often going to end up with 2 points or 2 free throws at minimum.
He'll go to the line as it'll be a Gilbeck and Derek lineup for the Dreamers. Bular still maintaining the good stroke. He's got 13.
Yeah, and all these guys have so much muscle memory at the free throw line. They shoot hundreds, if not thousands, of free throws a week in practices. And so especially when you get that confidence going and you see that those free throws start to drop like he did yesterday, then oftentimes you're going to be able to continue to be consistent at the free throw line. It's so much of a mental battle more than anything.
Gilbeck screens for Jeff. He's got the switch. He'll shoot his free throw jumper off the backboard. I gotta ask the Lioneers if Jericho's okay with that. Lioneers with a 3-point lead. Evan Bular, who is called getting the foul out of Gilbeck on the block attempt, though we could not hear the whistle.
Yeah, Gilbeck just loses Bular for, gets behind him a couple steps, tries to get back here and does get that forearm, and is lucky that the shot didn't go in as well.
3 fouls for him, 2 for Derek. We have not seen Chen Ziyang in the regular season yet. Late signing by the Dreamers and participated the preseason to a lot of fanfare and encouragement by the Dreamers fans and basketball fans in Taiwan. Makes another. They often talk about how basketball, you're starting to do the math about points per possession. Well, Bular's turning into a 2-point possession, even at the line. Here comes Dawson with a lane and the one-handed slam. Kind of gentle, relatively speaking.
Yeah, well, he took off from pretty far away, so he wanted to make sure he could get that length, and definitely was still able to get there. Oh, my.
And now an offensive foul. Gilbeck trying to make room for Derek.
And Dawson doing a good job of trying to fight hard through the screen, and hard to know if Gilbeck moved or not as we see the highlight reel here. But Gilbeck will be missed with now 8 minutes left. He might have to spend a lot of time over on the side, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on these other Dreamer performers to protect the paint.
Indeed, 4 fouls by Gilbeck. And you saw in the replay, he was using his hands and using his legs to try to set the screen and not stay completely set. Me working with Dawson back and forth on the pick and roll. His deep 3 is short. Kenny Chen, haven't said his name much, but it's Derek missing the bank 3. The second quarter has been going on quite slowly. A lot of fouls by the Dreamers, as Evan will fire from the right side. No good.
Yeah, back-to-back trips for the Lioneers, not getting the ball into the post, settling for those three-point shots, which can definitely go in, but you would like to have at least go inside before you kick it back outside to give yourself a chance.
Kenny to the basket, will get the foul and one.
That's how he's made his living. He's crafty, he's quick, he's strong. He can take that contact and drive to the basket in a lot of different areas. And Kenny Chen here just giving his team a little spurt as he beat by Ryan, gets to the baseline, little contact, and a good focus to knock down the shot.
Besides Boyd's 15 points a game, Kenny is the next highest scorer for the Dreamers, 13.5. Huge step up for him. His 5th season with the Dreamers.
And I mean, he's been able to make big plays since the beginning, but you do feel like he's a guy that's just improved every year. He just continues to work on his game and develop other things that he can get better at. And he's a lethal weapon for him.
Dawson just in and out with that one. There's Derek with an offensive foul of his own.
Yeah, not really necessary either. I mean, Ming-Yi is trying to catch up to Kenny Chen, but you know, you don't need those extra little pushes or body to create open shots. The Dreamers have been able to get them without that, so they just got to stay more composed.
So an offensive foul for both Derek and Gilbeck are not the turnovers that you want. We'll go to a break as the Lioneers Dreamers will be back after this.
吸一口好空气，就可以到呢我们 Easter Case 这边呢兑换了精美的纪念品，有被拍到的记得喽。来2位，来一个深呼吸，卖个送手机啊！深呼吸，送礼物了，深呼吸，不用接吻，不用接吻。虽然那个男的很想。 来，深呼吸，不要接吻啊！哦，人工呼吸，人工呼吸，深呼吸，深呼吸，对，对，很好，再来一个。来，深呼吸。
Lioneers on 狮子同乐会, getting the fans involved on the big screen they have here. The Dreamers with a couple offensive fouls in the second quarter. Not winning the turnover battle, which you expect they need to go up against the Lioneers featuring Sim Bular in the middle.
Yeah, definitely they do want to continue to get steals, and their defense with Jeff in there right now and Kenny and Boyd, those guys, West, they're able to play good defense. But you have to use those fouls wisely on the other side of the court to stop the Lioneers from scoring, and you can't afford to give them up on the offensive side like you were saying, Ryan.
We'll give credit to Derek. Mentioned his high-scoring 24 points, 6 3-pointers made, and included 6 block shots, so which is a plus league career high. It was amazing, and the Braves kept on challenging him as if he was still injured, but he's more or less back into form. Now guarding Bular at the high post. Evan from the left side this time, still can't find the range, and it's Bular to save them with 2 points.
Yeah, Evans would like to see one of those go through. Definitely just to help combat against the zone. But it's nice when Bular is able to clean up the garbage, get those second chance points for you.
Stoppage in play, as it probably was a warning to a delay of game. Kenny, he's got a speed advantage on Ryan. Fires up to Jeff, who strokes it from 3.
Knocking down outside shots, what you need against these Lioneers who really pack and do a good job protecting the paint. So those outside shooting abilities by Doug and Kenny and Jeff are really helpful for the Dreamers so far.
Ryan trying to go at Kenny, went too far, just saves it inbounds. It's Dawson with a tough fadeaway, and he airballs it.
Yeah, there was hard spacing on that possession for Dawson. He didn't really have a place to drive anywhere with the paint being crowded.
Now Kenny will hit the 3 himself. And we have a tie game. Lioneers call their only timeout in the first half. There you see on screen the 3-point margin. 5 made for 13 shots, but over are the Lioneers. That's got to be a big concern. Because of course, when you have Bular in the middle, you also want to go pair that with an outside attack from the perimeter. Punish teams a lot on the exterior. The Dreamers, on the other hand, the lowest 2-point shooting percentage team, but also the highest 3-point percentage team now, thanks to Derek and Doug's exploits in the game against the Braves.
Yeah, definitely you have guys on the Dreamers who can space out the floor, and you know, we know they can score inside with drives too. We know Gilbeck's hit a couple mid-range shots. He's capable, but they don't have a guy that they're going to post up often and try to really just exploit inside the paint. And so that's the Dreamer style, and Coach Kyle Julius does a good job of coaching them up that way to feel confident and to space the floor well and get those outside shots. And so far they've been able to capitalize well and knock them down.
After the game yesterday, Greg mentioned that the Lioneers' focus was not on point, especially not taking advantage of Bular inside, making him run back and forth, draining his energy without any of the production. Meanwhile, for the Dreamers, hanging into this game, that's kind of been their MO. They have lost the 20-point record low scoring game, but they also only win by smaller margins. So they're a team that very intense in their practice, is also very intense in their game-to-game, back and forth.
Yeah, and you want those practices to be intense, and that helps prepare you better for these game-like situations, and a big reason they can win those close battles. And but going back to the Lioneers, like you said, you do not want to waste Sim Bular's energy going back and forth. There's no reason. He's the highest scoring player for your team and one of in the league. And he should almost touch the ball every time down, because he can not only just create for himself, but when he draws that attention, it's just going to help free up the other Lioneers on the perimeter.
Captain Evan for the Lioneers. Moving to the other side as they try to break the Dreamers' defense, but it's a Dawson ISO. He dribbled it off his own foot. Dreamers, after a scramble, will go down with energy. No looking pass. Out of bounds off the Lioneers, saving that transition defense possession.
Yeah, Ming-Yi able to get his hands and did a good job trying to read that passing lane, and saves 2 points right there for his team.
Derek thought about the step back. Now Jeff working on Ming-Yi, able to find a spot and lay it in.
Yeah, Jeff is just a great ball handler and very explosive player. You want to be able to cut off his drive to the basket. That time Lioneers unable to, and Jeff capitalizes and gives the Dreamers the lead here.
Now a turnover on the dribble. Ling-Mi turned his wrists over. He's going to get subbed out right away, but give way to Elliott.
Yeah, the Lioneers will need Elliott here just to get him back on track offensively, get guys in the right spot with spacing, as the Lioneers will play a little bit of zone themselves to try to counter and get out to these perimeter shooters that have been knocking down shots.
Calvin, to a healthy amount of boos, able to finish with the left hand.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths of Calvin. He's very composed down there. He gets into the lane, uses some pivots, ball fake, get the defender off timing, and then able to use the glass to put it in.
Not the smoothest operator, but he makes it work. Boyd there to help deflect the pass, and Derek commits the foul early. Bullard able to finish.
Yeah, tough play for the Dreamers because they did a great job getting in the passing lane. Boyd able to come over and help and deflect the first entry pass by Evans into the post, but it ends up in Ryan's hands, and Bullard just with that inside position, it's pretty much game over when he catches it that deep and close to the basket.
He'll go to the bench as the Dreamers will go without a true center. Boyd and Creighton and Kenny are the 3 forwards paired along with Jeff and Calvin.
And that's one of the best ways to stop Gilbeck and Derek on the offensive side, is to make them work extra hard and get them in foul trouble on the defensive side, which is just another strategy that the Lioneers would love to make the most of here in today's game.
Similarly, they can apply a lot more pressure against the Lioneers. Here's Kenny missing the baseline 3, and here come the Lioneers. Bullard slow to the action, so Ryan goes to the basket and is fouled. All the attention was on the big guy. Even the not so limber Ryan able to get to the basket.
Yeah, Ryan just using a little bit of a crossover dribble there and attacking. And one thing that the Lioneers are trying to do more of, they started the game out well in that area, but transition points, try to get down there and put pressure on the defense before they can even set up their zone. And good job by Ryan and Elliott there, the veterans, to be the force to just continue to push that ball forward. Even if Bullard is not set up yet, you can still look for good opportunities before he gets down there.
Ryan misses his first free throw, only 8 for 15 coming into this game. 1 for 2 trip as Guosaojie comes in for Evan. Lioneers also very wide in their defensive shell. Across to Jeff, who fires and hits a 3.
And that's what you do against the zone. The Dreamers, with all their shooters, this will be hard for the Lioneers to have Bullard just sitting down in the paint if the other 4 guys don't work hard enough to run those 3-point shooters off the 3-point line.
Ryan looking for Bullard. Back down Doug. Jay from the other side. In and out. A clock didn't reset, but a nice putback by Ryan. Dreamers just with a 2-point lead now as Elliott got a little too handsy.
Yeah, officials been calling out on tight both sides, doing a good job just being consistent with those calls. Just that little grab, they're watching out for it.
Boyd, only Bullard in front. Try to get the pump fake and block with 2 hands. Saljit jumps in front of the pass, and here come the Lioneers. Lihei with a size advantage on Kenny. Terminates the dribble. Quick fires that 3, no good, and Wesley, offensive rebound and the foul. They just lost track of him.
I thought on that last play, Ryan definitely has a hot hand. He can shoot that, but if there's one more pass on that last possession, Elliott's wide open on the wing as we look at the great defense on the last possession by Bullard.
And maybe different than Tabit, who's very vertical threat. Bullard is a lot more disciplined with his feet on the ground. Wesley misses the first free throw.
And that might be some of the nightmare, as we know the Lioneers, just one free throw away in yesterday's game. If they're not careful today, that could be another factor in a game that's going to be possibly going down to the wire.
Calvin able to finish around all the Lioneers on defense. Oh, there's a careless pass out of bounds. Get the feeling that the Dreamers will stick with this lineup for the rest of the way, while the Lioneers are trying to find the 5 guys that'll be best for them.
Yeah, small ball, the Dreamers with all those shooters out there, and when shooters are knocking down shots, it's hard to go wrong.
Jeff trying to work on Tianhao, takes the tough mid-range and nails it. Now the Dreamers apply pressure. Saljia catches it over the top.
Oh, and they just continue to just be careless with the ball. Speaking of the Lioneers, as it's going to be another foul 30 feet from the basket. That's sort of the risk you take, I guess. The Dreamers are okay to live with it. They've been aggressive and they've gotten some steals from it. They play a faster paced game, but we see that time with Jeff getting his hand in there and getting the personal foul.
The Dreamers, overheard, I should say, by the MC. They wanted to challenge that play, but you cannot challenge fouls.
Or they wanted that, they thought that he was out of bounds potentially before the foul happened. Might have been the case as it was close to the sideline.
But if the whistle is a foul, that is not something you can go back and then officiate. Tianhao stays perfect from the line. Otherwise, the Lioneers leaving points at the free throw line. Like Kirk mentioned, we'll see if it affects them in the end. They are down currently this second quarter, only with 16 points. There goes the perfect free throw shooting by Tianhao. 1 minute left in the first half. Kenny to Boyd, who fires from 3 too strong. And Bullard with a rebound 24 feet from the basket. Now number 24 drops it on his way to the rim. Another turnover for the Lioneers, 10 in the first half.
Yeah, definitely a possession that you want back. If you're the Lioneers, you want those easy baskets, and Bullard doing a good job controlling the rebound, picking it up, swarming around a lot of Dreamers' bodies, but unable to capitalize.
This time Jeff misses from mid-range. Tianhao putting on the dribble moves, but jumps out of bounds. No, jumps for the travel. Turnover regardless.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's this lull for the Lioneers is, they're not getting the ball to Bullard down low. He's starting to maybe feel frustrated. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's doing a good job getting rebounds, but his team just not able to stay composed enough and have the patience to run their offense through him, which is where they've had so much success this season.
I think they could get credit because Coach Greg did mention before Bullard gets in the action, you definitely want to go fast and do simple movements, 2-man, 3-man games. That might get you an early look, but right now if you turn it over, none of that matters.
Yeah, they're just not keeping it simple enough. Too much dribbling, not enough forward passes and cuts, and just too much guys trying to do too much with the ball. Let the offense work, get guys moving. If it happens in transition, great, but you got to take care of the basketball.
Haji with foul trouble. Jeff running the point. As Calvin takes the tough fadeaway. And it's going to be a Lioneers run out. Evan with the lane, leaving it out. Dawson almost with the putback of the year. Will be ball out of bounds. 1 second left for the Dreamers, I believe.
Yeah, those can be big momentum shifts either way. I almost thought that Evans could have seen that play develop and just dropped it off instead of going for the layups to Dawson. But they'll end with no basket on that last possession.
After a frenetic first quarter, the Dreamers now lead this game heading into halftime. Thank you for watching the Plus League. We'll be back after this break.
我们投篮大赛。那我们现在马上呢要进入到我们狮子军点名，这是一个全台湾唯一一个就是可以直入球场，然后跟大家互动的游戏。现在手机拿起来，要下载什么呢？17Live， 赶快下载起来，就有机会获得球员拍立得以及工程师的限量好礼。好，那今天的第一题，我们先来问球迷朋友，那只要答对的，我们后台选出来你的话呢，获得就是我们林一会儿他的潘立德，还有我们的毛毛。毛毛，没错。对，好的。毛毛有2个紫色、黑色。是。那如果大家今天呢下载完 17Live， 然后抽奖抽到你中奖的话，如果你在现场就可以直接到2楼的球迷服务中心，可以把礼物直接带回家。哎，超好的，就是来看球就可以把礼物带回去。那请靖宇帮我们出第一道题目，大家听好了，请看我们上面的大荧幕。好，请问绰号蓝子汉是哪一位球员？这太简单了吧！陈建安、郭少杰、林一辉、吴代豪，请作答。演员应该不用提示了，他是一位很猛的老将。哎，应该会打我。听到一个关键字，因为演员小时候就看他长大，看他打球长大。好，来，请现场的球迷朋友还有我们线上的宝宝一起来作答。对，没错。我们马上就会来选出一位，请靖宇来跟大家公布到底是谁。如果你在现场更好啊，直接摇滚区拿到我们的礼物。也请所有的朋友帮我们 QR code 扫起来。好，我们来公布了，得到拍立得跟我们的帽子的是谁？好，这个是 Songy 的义兄 ，OK， Songy SONGYY 的义兄，恭喜！如果你在现场，可以直接到2楼的球迷服务处。但如果你现在是在线上，不在现场的宝宝没关系，请留意我们 17Live 的小帮手讯息。好，那我们现在把现场交给我们最可爱的宝宝的投篮下来。那我们在线下呢，继续要来访问我们牧师女孩，跟大家一起玩。
We're here in Hsinchu County Stadium, where the Dreamers currently lead this one 46-41. On screen is Xiaohu and Zhang Yaozong Eddie. On the Mandarin broadcast, I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Kirk Long on the English commentary on a Sunday afternoon, Kirk. Interesting enough, we've seen Bular kind of grab the headlines early in the game as the player providing Lioneers with energy both defensively and offensively, and of course we expected Bular to be a constant presence down low and a dominant presence down low, but the Lioneers, like you mentioned, kind of gone away from him, not knowing what rhythm to kind of play with, and missed opportunities have led to this deficit for them, and most concerning, 0 for 11 from three-point range.
Yeah, most definitely it's important that you note that, Ryan, because I feel like the rest of the Lioneer players are struggling shooting from the outside, so they're trying to rush some, dribble too much, get to the basket, and they just haven't been as consistent as they've needed to be to help get their team a lead. Where on the other side, the Dreamers have been knocking down shots all over the court in a variety of different people in different ways, and that's why they have this first half lead.
For the Dreamers, in foul trouble is Achi and their two centers, Derek Lidoe and Julian Boyd. So Achi, you can maybe maybe confuse him for being a big player, but he is indeed the smallest Dreamer on the floor. There's the combined team statistics, where indeed an over 11 first half is quite a tragic stat. But the Lioneers definitely can still come back in this one. They do have good shooters, they have good shooting talent, and we gave compliments to the Dreamers for working hard. The Lioneers work really hard in practice too. They have their own Lioneers hub, and we'll break more of that down in the second segment.
好，那我们这边呢有3位呢，分别呢3位评审，是我们首先呢是去年的冠军，还有我们黄大哥 Dennis， 还有 Ready， 可以了哦。好，预备 ，Go！ 裁判请给分。好，给分。7分、9分、8分、10分、10分、10分。好，工作人员帮我们统计成绩。接下来3号的参赛者，预备。好，裁判请给分。8分、10分、9分、10分，还是10分。好，谢谢。好，接着欢迎呢4号的参赛者是一位妹妹，妹妹来球。10岁。好，预备 ，Go！ 好，高抛的双手灌篮，评审请给分。10分、7分、10分，反正你只会拿10分，这些给你。他只会拿10分而已。好啊，你要评审哦，你要公正哦。好，接下来呢，欢迎呢今天呢最小的一位参赛者。好，预备 ，Go！ 2人搭配灌篮，评审请给分，10分、9分、10分、9分。啊，你怎么哭了？我太感动了啦哈。好，接着6号参赛者，6号参赛者他也是有花招的。好，来预备，哦，他要蒙眼灌篮，重点是他没有球哦，对。蒙眼灌篮，预备 ，Go！ 棒！好，这个蒙眼灌篮，看可以得到评审多少分数？10分、8分、9分、9分。好，接着小狮子，今年几岁？6岁。6岁的小狮子，预备 ，Go！
Next week, the Steelers host the Pilots on Friday night. Then the Dreamers and Braves host home games over the weekend. Get your tickets early. For the fans watching online, you and your child are going to miss out on the Lioneers Juniors dunk contest. Well, Kirk and I, right now, will be talking about the adults playing basketball. And we noticed in the box score that the Lioneers only have 4 first half assists. And considering Bullard's making a lot of his free throws and they have that size advantage, that is a very odd stat to see.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we talked earlier about their woes from the three-point line, and you know, so that's one way that they can get more assists and work as a team together. But you know, even other ways of driving and then dishing and creating for each other. It's just a little bit too much isolation and one-on-one basketball, too much dribbling. in the first half by the Lioneers, and if they can fix some of that teamwork like the Dreamers have, where they've created shots for each other with they're up to 9 assists, then that can definitely help them out.
There are scoring leaders. From the top is Jeff with 10 points, but not only is this a balanced offense for the Dreamers, everyone taking their turns, having their dribble drive opportunities. I've also noticed that they've also combined for 8 players to get all their rebounds, trying to even up the score, at least certainly on the defensive end.
Yeah, the collective team rebounding, you know, especially when your best rebounder is in early foul trouble, that helps everybody else have that mental state that they all have to rebound collectively and find a body, make contact, box out, and go gang rebound. And the Dreamers have done a good job of that, and I'm sure they work on that in training and practices, knowing that they're going to be a smaller lineup a lot of the times.
Meanwhile, for the Lioneers, you just saw their leading scorers, Bullard with 20 and Dawson with 12, but no other Lioneer has even made 2 field goals. In fact, Evan, Li Jiarui, Li Yuhui, only 1 field goal apiece. Those are quite amazing stats, Kirk, that I'm still trying to process. But
yeah, it's tough to win games when you're only relying on a couple guys to make shots, and the others have had opportunities. We've had some three-point shots by Elliott go in and out. Evans has had some fast break opportunities, and they haven't capitalized on. Ming Yi has been aggressive to the basket, just not getting a lot going. So definitely guys that are out there are capable of doing a lot more for the Lioneers, and they just need to hope they come out and put themselves in better positions to be more successful.
好，那我们小朋友场中央集合。来面向我，面向我。我们每个小朋友呢都会获得呢电影票，来每个人都有，来站好哦，站好。那我们每个人都会发电影票。
好，太精彩了，小朋友太可爱了。我们志愿哥来颁奖的同时呢，赶快要继续回到我们 17Live 的狮子军点点名。圆圆跟靖宇呢，在这边要继续出题目。我们知道现场超多球迷跟着我们一起玩的耶。
还没有拿奖的朋友，还有2题的机会，
对，
请大家好好把握。
好，请出题第4题，大家赶快听哦。
好。
请问小狮
来看这边，那今天有特别装扮来的
，400名
你可以获得特别奖。
只要凭学生证，还有什么物品就可以换到纸箱 Uncle 的限量礼呢？有会员卡、考卷、泳衣跟集点卡，请抢答。下好离手只有10秒钟。
来，要动态的哦，来工程师哦，这样来，工程师。
是哪一位新人可以获得我们的工程师毛毛呢？
好，谢谢。有没有人还没有拿到参加奖的？
赶快。对，好。啊，爸爸，我是冠军，我们听到了，小朋友太可爱了，大家都来做才是冠军。哇，
好。那再跟大家宣传一下，要怎么样获得我们的奖品呢？首先要下载好 17Live 的直播。
好，我们已经选出这个球迷，希望你在现场哦。
好，这位朋友是令。 2002-1029令2002-1029，恭喜得奖！如果你在现场的话，请到2楼的球迷服务中心直接把奖品带回家。
好，我们现在马上出今天最后一题，会拥有我们的限量的这个超可爱的篮球包。请信宇帮我们出第5题，最重要的一题，球迷朋友一起来答题吧。
好，这一题很重要，大家应该都知道答案。请问工程师今天的对战队伍是哪一队？ 新北国王、台新梦想家、达新工程、桃园领航员，请抢答！这一题最大奖除了获得毛毛，还可以获得 17Live 跟工程师联名的篮球包。小朋友跟女生应该都会为之疯狂。
今天大家应该知道题目是什么，因为今天是很关键的一战哦。我们相信呢，我们在下半场呢，我们把气势拿回来哦。所以请我们球迷朋友赶快来作答。我们要选出1位，待会要进入下半场的比赛喽。好，我们选出来这一位要很恭喜，
恭喜恭喜！如果你在现场。
Welcome back to the broadcast. In just a couple minutes, the second half action will get going. The Dreamers Lioneers first matchup is kind of, oddly enough, in the energy department, kind of getting to a little bit of a lull. Right now, the Lioneers kind of struggling to find the right formula on offense, and the Dreamers kind of scrambling around, having some of their own shortcomings with Gilbeck, Derek in foul trouble, but their small lineup is something we've expected out of them, and will we see it more in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think even with Derek and Gilbeck missing some extended first half time, the Dreamers offense didn't change much. You know, it's still a lot of movement. They still are very cohesive, and they work together well to create space for their perimeter players to break down the defense and get open shots. And so they still played with a lot of confidence offensively in that second quarter. And what's most surprising is just how, without some of their big defenders in there for the Dreamers, the Lioneers still weren't able to dominate inside the paint like they should be able to with the personnel that they have. And you got to give some credit to the Dreamers, working really hard to pressure the passers and the ball handlers and just forcing them into some plays and shots that just weren't the best looks for the Lioneers.
I also think it might be an energy conservation kind of situation, because in the opening game, Dreamers down by more than 20 points, ended up putting a full court press on the Braves to good success, and maybe they're kind of saving themselves in the second half of this one. Meanwhile, for the Lioneers, Bular played 39 minutes but took 17 shots and 12 free throws for 35 points. His energy conservation also on the mind of Coach Greg, though he does have relatively fresh Brendan Dawson, first game back from injury.
Yeah, it's hard for Dawson. You know that he wants to attack the basket and use his physique and athleticism and skills to get into the lane, and that can be a struggle sometimes with Bular sitting in the paint and clogging some of that up. So how do they utilize both of them to their full potential?
You mentioned Dawson, probably more of an interior player. He's only hit 4 of 17 threes last season and only shot 12 for 22 from the free throw line. So he has been going to the fadeaway a lot and not actually all the way to the basket. So after Coach Greg drew up a play on the whiteboard, generously provided by Moulton, there will be out after the Dreamers. Jeff Wu, Calvin, Kenny, Boyd, and Gilbeck. Those are the second half starters, same as the ones who opened the game. And for the Lioneers, it'll also be their starters.
Yeah, I just want to see who is it. Can it be Ryan? Can it be the captain for the Lioneers? Who's going to step up and hit some outside perimeter shots just to change up this Dreamers defense?
Jeff with the tough turnaround, able to get it to fall.
Yeah, Jeff with good composure there. Ming-Yi, very quick feet, but doesn't have that length or strength to keep Jeff out of the lane. And Jeff uses some dribble, gets close enough, and makes the most of it.
Tip by Gilbeck, but Bular is able to finish. And Jeff, I think, kind of a mental lapse as he didn't push the basketball down the floor. Gilbeck got there all the way down there. We'll get a reminder from the coaches later. Gilbeck in the lane. No opening, so Boyd will fire from the right side and out. He's still an 0 from the perimeter, 0 for 3.
Too bad Dawson got the switch that he wanted, had the smaller Kenny Chen on there. And Evans, that's just the play that he needs to be able to make. You just got to show the ball high and pivot past low. And they need to get Dawson in positions where he can have an easier time to score and just get his groove back.
In his zone defense, Evans misses from 3.
Just another possession, though, for the Lioneers where their big guy, Bular, doesn't get the ball at all.
Jeff moving around the double screen. Consecutive curls doesn't yield anything, so it's Calvin running low on shot clock. Active hands by Dawson, posted out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot of holding the ball there for Calvin, just seeing that shot clock wind down, not being able to get too much out of it. So credit to the Lioneers defense. The Dreamers will still have 1.5, so enough time to catch, maybe one quick dribble, but you can't do too much with it.
Calvin on the pump fake will fire an air ball. Indeed, a empty possession by the Dreamers. And just like that, Zhuhao will come in for Evan.
Yeah, Evan missing his three-point shots and trying to get somebody in here who can just light that spark up for the Lioneers.
Zhuhao might be a good candidate, averaging 17 minutes played, 5 points per game. Good shooter by reputation, but Gilbeck jumps that pass. Dawson able to finish on the reload. Dreamer trying to go fast. Looks like there's a blocking foul. Ryan against Kenny.
A little bit too much hands on the defense. The refs have been consistent with that on both sides. And Kenny was close to that baseline, but refs doing a good job catching the push.
This time Calvin gives it up. Nice hands by Junghal, reading the flare screen.
Most definitely. You might not always be able to see the ball on that back cut, but just a good skill to have to keep those hands up in the passing lane, even when you don't see the ball.
Now Jeff fakes Miggy up in the air. His mid-range is out. Boyd had that one erased by Bular, and Calvin couldn't finish on the rebound. So here come the Lioneers. Dawson trying to get through all the Dreamers. Will be out of bounds off of him, and Boyd in pain.
Yeah, Dawson might have landed on Boyd's ankle as they both went down, and I believe Boyd has had some injuries in the preseason with those feet. As we see the replay, Kenny trying to draw the charge, and a great block. Ooh, and just that ankle gets caught underneath Dawson and twisted up.
Not in foul trouble, but Boyd will be on the bench for at least this next possession. As Gilbeck communicated his apologies for trying to help his teammate out, get out from underneath Dawson.
Yeah, it's good to see teammates have each other's back, and Gilbeck just had his best intentions there to help his teammate out who was on the ground struggling and in some pain.
But he'll stay in the game. Maybe just a tweak. Jeff, with some room, leaves the layup short. Now they're going to wait on Dawson to get into play. Miggy over to Junghal, his deep three, left short.
Man, the Lioneers just can't get anyone from the perimeter by a basket, and it's maybe hard sometimes. They did play yesterday. Those legs are a little bit tired, but you know, all those hours of training and repetition of the shots, you just want to rely on that right now and trust that those shots are going to go in.
Similarly, Jeff Wu with consecutive misses. Now a little bit of a collision. Dreamers foul in transition.
Yeah, good job by Ryan to cut back door, seeing Miggy stop on transition, and a good, nice bounce pass.
It'll be a Calvin foul, his third personal. Well, we mentioned the second quarter was kind of going a little bit of a slower pace. Now this third quarter, already 3.5 minutes in. And only a combined 6 points.
Yeah, it's been physical. Both teams trying to get out in transition. They're getting plenty of looks at the basket. Not easy looks, though, as the defense has just been on top of things. And both defenses just trying not to give away anything easy.
Another adjustment that they made is removing the Plus League sticker from the top of the rim. There's so many things when it comes to basketball facilities that you don't really think about all the time. Doug, deep three, short, and Bular, easy rebound, but passes it to Kenny. What a good effort. will save it from being a Lioneers automatic 2.
Yeah, great effort by Kenny, sort of being that safety position that you have in American football, just back there getting his hands up and stopping that pass from going through.
That is technically the purpose of having guards in basketball. Mingyi in the corner, had that one blocked by Calvin. He gives him a sarcastic smile.
I'm here. It's my spot. It's my spot. It's my spot. What is he doing?
Here's the inbound plays where the Lioneers, scored about 10 points on this inbounds play yesterday, and Boulard just trying to battle for his inside position, and the Dreamers are going to surround him with 3 bodies. We'll see if he can get his hands up.
He'll have to retreat outside the paint for now, as Urnhal crosses his feet, but gets the foul on the 3-point attempt. I guess you would be called for the offensive foul. Definitely looked very unnatural. I was going to say, if the Dreamers foul, that's very in Mandarin, 不应该, you shouldn't do it, because the Lioneers struggling so hard from the outside. Not a good look on that one. We might catch you guys on the other end of this inbounds play. Yes, indeed. Doug getting the worst of it. So Achi subbed in the game for the Dreamers as Calvin passes it to Boyd, who rolls in the mid-range. Dreamers up by 3.
I like that shot from Boyd. Struggled a little bit from the 3-point line, but still able to find that open spot and get his feet set, knock it down.
Doug pokes it away from Boulard, and he will just walk up court as Kenny misses the fast break layup. Boyd there for the rebound. Lioneers call timeout as the Dreamers able to score in transition. We'll go to our first break in the second half. Thank you for watching Plus League Basketball.
好，接下来呢，我们要进行的是一个 all in cam， 被拍到的人可以做出 all in 的动作，或是很开心的动作。来，2位可以 all in 的。all in， 哦，对，推筹码也可以，很好。来，推筹码 all in， 或者很快乐的动作，好。
Welcome back to the broadcast. Like the stream for the Lioneers coming up with the creative. You know what this is? Calvin is known as the card playing shark in Taiwan basketball. So to welcome his return, the Lioneers have decorated this in-game board. They've also have playing cards as their fathead cardboard printouts along the baselines to distract the free throw shooter.
Plenty of creative ways here in the P.LEAGUE to cheer on your favorite players and your favorite teams and distract the other teams, and it's fun to see the different ways where each arena, each team in the P.LEAGUE is just able to come out and enjoy supporting their home team.
Second out of the timeout, really early in the second half. Coach Greg not happy with the Lioneers. We definitely noticed the difference between having Faust and Boulard try to do entry pass and post up to having Dawson and Boulard. But not quite the same effect.
Yeah, you don't get the spacing, and especially against the zone, which the Dreamers are running, it's nice to have those extra shooters on the perimeter. And so far today, the Lioneers with their lineup have just been struggling from the outside, so that's been the story. But there's still plenty of time to turn it around as they only find themselves down by 5. And just a couple made shots, that momentum can shift very quickly.
Junghao with the inbound. Bullard straight to Doug's hands. Now Boyd getting the contact, can't get the finish, but he'll go to the line. Good job by the Dreamers. They do have 3 block shots as well on the defensive end, mostly Lioneers in transition.
Yeah, you gotta love the 2 steals though in this quarter by Doug. Creighton just to strip once from Bullard, and the second time just getting his hands up in the passing lane. So active hands by the veteran, and good job for the Dreamers to turn defense into offense.
Boyd makes the first free throw. And the second. He's got 8 points. He'll make that 12. That's his rebound count. Dreamers in their zone. They rotated around. Ryan will finally hit the first 3 for the Lioneers.
Might be the spark they want. They still got the ball down to the post. They kick it back out. They swing it around. That's good basketball for the Lioneers. The kind of execution their coaching staff wants, and it's fine. It's good to see a shot finally drop for the Lioneers.
Aji blocked by Bullard. Now Calvin will try to answer and leave it short. Doug with the offensive rebound. Boyd still can't find the range. And Kenny with a long rebound. On the other side, Kenny Chen finishes around Bullard.
Yeah, good job by Kenny Chen. Just explosive move. He knows, though, if he goes straight up with the right hand on the right side, Bullard is there to block the shot, but he is crafty. He uses the rim as protection, does the reverse with the left hand, and great finish by Kenny Chen.
Long shots lead to long rebounds, and now 10 offensive boards for the Dreamers. Dawson getting surrounded, misses his shot, and now Boyd pushing up ahead. So Creighton's 3, no good, and Kenny flying in for the putback.
Yeah, it's just a lack of getting back on defense by several Lioneer players that time. One thing to miss a shot, it's another thing to make a mistake and not get back and stop your opponents from getting an easy basket.
Junghao crashing in will get the block against Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd thought that he had that good position, and good job attacking the basket. Look at the replay as Boyd ended up on the ground.
Kenny flying in. Not a natural lefty, but the left hand worked for him as we see that call. And I have to agree, because in our conversations with the referee, you want to protect the shooter, and he's already committed to the flight.
Yep, most definitely. Boyd's still getting into position as he had already taken off for his shot. So tough play for Boyd, trying to get there, sacrificing his body, but right call by the officials.
2 personal and 2 team fouls as we see that one again.
As you watch the replay, though, a drop pass to Dawson would have been a dunk, most likely for him, but drawing the foul and getting 2 free throws is not a bad alternative as long as you can knock them down.
I think in that case, if you pass it to Dawson, you might get 3 players into the crash, so for player's safety's sake, not a good situation. Now a missed free throw by Junghao, his first trip to the line. Currently scoreless. He'll stay that way. Aji with speed. Got Elliott on the arm hook, it seems. The Lioneers already with 4 team fouls. Well, Boyd, after a hard-fought spell, will give way to Derek. All local players for the Dreamers as Kenny, Derek, rattling it in and out. Will stay Dreamers basketball. Now Bullard frustrated with his teammates.
Yeah, they got to help crash boards. Guys are getting open with driving lanes, and they got to communicate a little bit more, speaking of the Lioneers defense, to not give up these open looks.
Now a missed shot by Calvin. And Xiao Suyi, number 11, fresh into the game for the first time. Ringhao driving, this time finishing with the left hand.
Quick passing and good penetration drive to the basket. That's the kind of shots that you want against the zone.
Doug gives Xiao Suyi in the air, but Derek misses the three. Now, funny enough, Bular is the first Lioneer down the floor as the Dreamers try to swarm Lioneers ball handlers. Now a three, Ringhao feeling it, but missing it. It'll be out of bounds off of Bular, they say. Get another look at Zhu Ringhao. One thing about being 3-and-D players, you gotta also have the counter drive too. So a team rebound for the Dreamers, still with a 6-point lead. Now another foul by Elliott.
Yeah, just using too much hands, fighting hard through those screens, trying not to give up any open gaps, but just a little bit too much contact with the upper body, and the refs are not willing to live with it. Call that foul.
Well, it is not going to be easy for Elliott because without Oscar, he's going to have to be matched up against perhaps the smallest guard of the opponents, and if it's Aji, player of the month last season in the second half, even as a rookie, still be a major challenge. But a missed free throw.
Looks like the Dreamers are playing a man defense now for this possession. Bular making his move down under the basket.
Line layup, and Bular able to collect it. And a foul, looked like a collective Dreamers foul, but it's going to go against Derek, it seems.
Yep, grab that missed shot, and Bular able to start heading momentum to the basket. So it's been a while since Bular has gotten a free throw, but he's been making the most of it, and I would expect if the Dreamers stay in that man-to-man defense, they're just going to go back to Bular in the post.
Also for the Lioneers, a long stretch without Dawson, so presumably the Lioneers have formulated that the non-Bular import will start their fourth quarters. Trying to get smart with their rotations. Only the second miss by Bular at the free throw line. Oh, for two trip.
Yeah, both short, front rim, tired legs, back-to-back games, lots of minutes for him.
Now Aji's flying around. Gilbeck left alone. Offensive rebound, and now the Lioneers have to foul him. A good job by Aji to suck Bular into the help defense. Hasn't had a tremendous increase in playing time, but Aji has shown playing the point guard position along with Jeff, the strides he's making. Gilbeck makes the first free throw, something that he would like to see improved coming into this game, 10 for 18.
Yeah, he does work on his outside stroke. You see him spinning repetitions in practice from the three-point line even. So definitely a big guy who can stretch the floor and still getting his bearings, and hasn't had really a game yet where he's hit consistently from the outside, but he will be able to do that, I think, as the season progresses.
Dawson's back in, and so is Boyd as Ringhao charges up ahead. Catches it with Walko, trying to guard him. Dawson with the right dribble, tough fadeaway, it's out, and Bular able to finish on the third try.
Yeah, good defense by Boyd that play, making Dawson miss the tough floater, and Gilbeck would have loved to have another opportunity to try to keep Bular off the offensive boards.
Now Aji giving it up to Doug. His tough three is way short. And here comes Dawson. Xiaosui, also a guy who can go in transition. Hard foul by Doug, and Xiaosui will go to the line.
Yep, Doug going for the ball, and that's what you want to do. I mean, it's a hard foul, but he is going for the ball, and you want to make sure that the offense doesn't get a chance to get that and one opportunity on the fast break, so good job by Doug.
Seeing the replay, Gilbeck had his attention off Bular for just a bit, and it was enough for the big guy to squeeze in. Well, the referees will go to the monitor to assess the foul against Doug Creighton. Earlier, we had Guo Saojie committing the unsportsmanlike against Calvin in transition. And even though we have a longer season, from 24 games last season to 30 games this season, the league has maintained their points and accumulation of special fouls to games suspensions and fines. So not letting the players off the hook with more games to play. So it's a regular foul.
Yeah, and that's a good rule. It's something good to keep and keep the players accountable and make sure that, you know, the sportsmanship and fair play and taking care of the league's players should be at the top of their list.
So Doug, from the look at that, a little bit, shall we say, premeditated with that hard swipe. I guess if he hits the basketball, it'd be a fair play. Xiaosui missing his first free throw. Only a 1-for-2 trip. Now Gilbeck looking for Boyd. Walker will drive and shoot the floater. Not something we saw a lot last season. Walker's first points of the night.
Yeah, Dreamers with a deep bench and guys coming off with confidence. No matter what position or how many minutes they're getting in, they've really bought into Coach Kyle Julius, and they play hard collectively and play with a lot of confidence to shoot the ball.
Dawson out to Elliott. His three is out. And now Bular commits the loose ball foul, trying to go over the back of Gilbeck, to his relief, I'm sure. Gilbeck, that is. But it's a loose ball foul, and there'll be more free throws for the Dreamers. Good call by the referees.
Third quarter yesterday is when the Lioneers struggled also. As we see the Dreamers, you know, just upping this lead here in this quarter so far. And, you know, it's hard to play from behind when you're a team that likes to post up, because you get behind, you're down by 8 points right now, like the Lioneers, and you think, oh, we got to play fast, we got to catch up. And then you sort of go away from what your bread and butter is of posting up with Bular.
2 misses, and the Lioneers trying to cut into the lead. Elliott trying to find space, loose basketball, and Aji will push it up ahead. Down low to Gilbeck, who had that one erased by Dawson. The Lioneers fortunate to save that play for now. Of course, Gilbeck probably smart, because Bular was coming into the play, so might not afford him the pump fake opportunity. Wesley back in the game as Doug leaves that floater short. Yunhao, one more rebound to his total. Elliott with a scoop layup, can't finish, and now a foul by Walko.
Yeah, Wesley was in position to grab that rebound, so it just might have been, you know, hands on him, trying to avoid him to go up and get that rebound as Elliott's shot bounced off the rim. But well,
two guys who are entangled. Maybe if the basketball goes the other way to Walko, maybe it's a foul on Wesley.
Possibly, yeah. That's a tough call, tough angle, guys. I mean, normally those officials want to give that little extra contact, especially when guys are boxing out for rebounds. That's when you can really get tangled up.
And now Wesley comes away with nothing. It's still an 8-point Dreamers lead. Aji will pull up, his shot no good. Rebound to Boyd, he'll try again and overshoot it. Almost a non-factor on the offensive side. Yunhao to the basket, got the and one.
That's the spark they need. These Lioneer fans want to get excited. There hasn't been a whole lot of big plays for them in this second half, but especially before the fourth quarter happens, that's a big aggressive take to the basket, scoring right over Boyd.
Well, to Doug's credit, he knows the scouting report. Yunhao likes to take those super deep threes, but I guess until he proves he can make them, should give him a step. Evans back in for presumably last 3 possessions of the third quarter. Aji dribbling through the middle, floats it up. Gilbeck couldn't get the offensive rebound. Now Doug could not jump the pass, and Lioneers with the advantage. But illegal screen by Elliott.
Yeah, away from the ball, not a part of the play, but
indeed he crashed into Boyd.
Yeah.
You either set the screen or you make yourself skinny, but we've seen that happen a number of times this season. Smaller guards, in fact, try to run through defensive players.
I mean, if Boyd is there and he's in legal guarding position, he's trying to make a play at the ball, then you know, he has every right to protect himself and not get hit also. So tough play.
16 turnovers by the Lioneers, only 10 for the Dreamers. Have held steady in that department. Dawson tries to jump the basketball. Walko. Bular with the long closeout. Now the Lioneers running low on time. Yunhao. Chima Sojin, no good. Exciting back and forth, but in the end, 17-17, just like yesterday, the team's turning up the defensive pressure. We'll go to the break before the fourth quarter.
来，跟着我们啦啦队，跟着我们牧师女孩，我们今天的来跳呢，小小兵的最爱 ，banana， 好不好？来，准备好了哦，来，音乐走。起来哦！ 也谢谢呢这两位呢最可爱的小朋友。
The third, fourth quarter dance by the Muse Girls is over, and now the players will have to decide it on the court. Once again, we see from the first half some scoring flow to the third quarter, especially in Plus League basketball. You see the teams make adjustments, and most of the time, those are defensive-minded. 17-17 after last night. The Steelers were able to put the clamps on the Lioneers for 15 third quarter points to build up their lead in yesterday's action. But now only one import for either team on the floor.
Yeah, we'll see how that is. I mean, Lioneers sitting at 58 points. They average up over 90 points per game. And so you don't feel like they're going to reach that mark, most definitely. And we'll see if they can somehow come up with some defensive strategy to be able to get enough stops, because their offense just doesn't seem like it's going to be what wins the game today. So are they going to be able to do enough on the defensive side, slow down the Dreamers?
The quarter that they did win is the first. Like we mentioned, has the Brendan Dawson energy in the opening possessions and the transition dunks. The Lioneers start with it on offense as Bullard gets an easy dunk down low.
Yeah, Boyd tried to jump the screen and get out of there before the Lioneers could pin him. And good pass just over the hands of Boyd from the Lioneers.
Short with his three, but Doug again in the middle with a rebound. Now Kenny from the corner, he got it.
Yeah, they're a three-point shooting team, and tough for the Lioneers, who, you know, get the lead down to 4. But when you give up those offensive rebounds, a lot of time that's when shooters are left open, because the defense has just tried to clog the paint and get the rebound. And good recognition by the Dreamers.
Ryan trying to go up against Kenny and somehow got it to go. Good physicality. By now, the Dreamers have 16 offensive rebounds to 15 by the Lioneers.
Yeah, so the Dreamers, the much smaller team, but still being able to be active on those rebounds.
Active hands leads to the turnover. Now, Ming Yi will shoot the mid-range, in and out.
Tough shot for Ming Yi. Just can't get that flow. Can impact the game in a lot of ways, but the Lioneers would like to see him with some offensive confidence, especially while Oscar is out of the lineup.
Dribble fake by Doug. Now Boyd from the corner, halfway down and back out. Now Kenny, taking advantage of his speed, gets Ryan napping. Achi from the right side. It's all net.
And you definitely feel some urgency pick up and some intensity grow, but it's still the Dreamers, the ones that are able to stay composed and knock down these outside shots, expanding their lead back up to 7.
Bullard trying to back down Boyd, maintains his position, and now foul is called on the rebound. Definitely tough when he's in such deep position. He's so close to the rim.
Yeah, it's devastating probably for Bullard too, because he worked so hard to get down there deep. He'd like to see that shot go in. Now he has to earn it the hard way from the free throw line.
Getting the replay of Bullard's dunk, then Kenny stroking it from the corner, bringing his point total to 13, his average so far in the season. Bullard, on the other hand, now with 29th point of the night. We'll get there. He has a long routine.
Yeah, Bullard missed his last 2 at the line, and that time able to counter back and hit some as his team's trying to fight off this rally from the Dreamers.
Boyd searching for a teammate. It's Achi trying to put the moves on Elliott. Will make the 3 and try to get the bump, but good call by the referees. There's some embellishment. The 3 is the key, though.
Evans had that 1 foot forward, and Aji just able to get him off balance, and the nice step back and knock down.
Now Mingi tries the counter, shoots the air ball. Aji once again. But Kenny from the wing way overshoots it. Long rebound to the Dreamers. Feeling it, Wako tries it from the outside. I don't know if it counts if your teammate does the heat check for you.
I think everyone on this Dreamers team, all these guards, just have the green light to shoot it when they're open. They got the confidence in them.
Ryan bumped off his spot for the shot, but Bular couldn't get the finish, and they call a foul in transition. To the chagrin of the Lioneers bench, it's only the first foul of the quarter.
And after 3 minutes, 22 seconds in the game for Bular, he asked for a break, showing some fatigue. So we'll see if Dawson could come in and help give this Lioneers team a spark.
Similar architect Doug trying to work on Greenhow as Boyd can't finish through contact. Greenhow avoids the travel call, but throws it to the Dreamers. Aji leaves his floater short, but got it back. Greenhow trying to guard him closely. Now with a lane, with the floater, and Kenny on the other side couldn't get it. Aji holding all kinds of places, unfortunately.
And the Lioneers just continue to not be able to capitalize on the fast break until Ryan puts it in. But man, it's not the prettiest transition offense right now we're seeing from the Lioneers, but finally they're able to get 2 points and transition.
Aji lipping over to the bench after he had quite a trip down the floor. We'll go to a break before coming back with the action. Welcome back as Aji Lingjunji took a hard fall. Hopefully he'll be all right. Got an ice pack on that side. Presumably Jeff Wu will come into the game. Going to show that Aji's got a lot of verticality himself. Coming down hard on his side and will give way to his teammate. Meanwhile, the Lioneers come out with the same lineup that they went into the break with. Finally able to finish in transition. Like you said, that was their bread and butter last season. Kind of forgetting about it for a lot of this season.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Bular out. You want to try to speed up the game now and with your behind.
Calvin misses a three. Doug, almost another offensive rebound. Maybe he is a center. I don't think he would admit to it, though.
No, probably not.
Kenny guarding Evan, waiting on the action to happen. Ryan, the veteran that he is, charged with this light possession, will miss it. Evan can't get the putback, and Yunhao another wing. flying for the offensive board. You kind of got the feeling that the Lioneers were going to stay in for offensive rebounds every time now. Now Evan with a lane and the righty finish.
He struggled with that the last couple days, has been taken through the basket and not quite getting it to fall, so that might be sort of the confidence booster he needs.
Foul and the bucket. Jeff foregoing the outside shot, taking it to the hole.
Yeah, I just felt like just the whole lane opened up for Jeff, and he got the defender on his hip and took it right to the basket.
So, unfortunately for Tianhao, once again beat on the perimeter.
Yeah, Tianhao and Ming-Yi have had a tough defensive assignment guarding Jeff Wu and these dreamer guards that have just been playing with a lot of confidence.
Dawson with Calvin on him, goes left, tries to finish and does through the middle. There's a scouting report error there. He does want to go to the left hand, or the right hand, excuse me, but can get there either way.
Yeah, he's great strong body, good move, and we'll see if that can be a spark.
Now Jeff flying across the lane, misses the layup. Calvin able to slow down the Lioneers break.
Half-court basketball without Bular in there. We'll see where they go to.
Now Evan trying to save it from going back court. Is able to. Now Inhall can't finish. And Ryan with the offensive board. Evan with the three. He got it. Just a 2-point game.
Yep, just like that, the Lioneers have some swagger back.
Dawson tried to jump it, and Boyd left with a three, misses it badly.
They're speeding it up. Good job that time, though, to recognize there were more defenders than offense ready.
Ryan will try to shoot the three. No lead, but Dawson's there. Will save the possession. Going to the basket, tough shot. Kenny with a rebound. Numbers advantage for the Dreamers. Now nullified. Tianhao a little bit too sticky on Jeff. But he took a blow on the blow by.
Tianhao smaller guard, has that quickness, trying to be pesky, but we see him grabbing onto the arm of Jeff, and that's unfortunate that Jeff's hand brushed his face. I don't think that was intentional, but they'll take a look at it, see what happens.
As we learned from yesterday's game, the referees can't go to the monitor if they find a move is intentional or has intent to harm, or indeed does harm a opponent on the floor, as long as there was a whistle.
Yeah, it's a tricky play in basketball. I mean, oftentimes when you start to explode and you drive left, then that right arm comes back, and you know, you do have to be careful and mindful of it, that you're not allowed to swipe and hit the player when you do that. But it is a natural movement, so I wouldn't suppose that Jeff is intentionally reaching back there to swipe a face, but it is a high stroke from behind, but it is a natural thing that occurs.
To the chagrin of the Lioneers staff and the fans in attendance. So looking back at the replay, the call did come at the right time, but after yesterday's game, the Lioneers trying to plead their case.
Yeah, and the Lioneers got to just let this one go. You know, you didn't get it called your way like you had hoped, but you're down by 2 points. Don't be focused right now on that last call. Be focused on getting the next defensive stop and come back down and tie the game.
Now now Jeff with Evan on him. Gilbeck, the import for the Dreamers, as they run out of time. Good defensive possession by the Lioneers.
And that's the stops that they need. I mean, struggling all night offensively, but if your defense can have the best last 12 minutes, the best quarter of the game to close it out, they've left themselves in striking distance, and we'll see. Chance here to tie the game.
Dawson getting the screen. Now he's got the smaller Jeff on him. Gilbeck doubles and throws the ball to the backcourt.
And good double team, good trap there by the Dreamers. Dawson has to realize that's coming and be able to get rid of it before it happens.
Previously able to drive through the middle for the score. And Evans, three from way deep. Hachi's back in the game. Guarded by Mingy. But Gilbeck got in the way, and another shot clock violation.
Yeah, Aji just with about 10 dribbles there on that possession, and you know, good job by the Lioneers to sort of switch that and push him back to the outside.
Man.
And the Lioneer fans asking now for a technical or something to happen they weren't pleased with after the whistle.
They'll talk to the scorers table, as plenty of for us, the broadcasters, to figure out as well. Well, we kind of mentioned in the pregame, there's a lot into this rivalry, and it's kind of bogging down the game late.
So they're going to review it, and if a shot's taken after the refs have blown the whistle, is that a delay of game? Is that what they're asking for?
It could be. In this case, I like to say it could be up to the referee's discretion.
Yeah, because Aji had that ball. The ref blew the whistle to call or the violation, and then he sort of took one more dribble and then shot the shot up. So I don't know if that's what they're looking at to see if that's the sort of delay of the game. Looks like just going to be another last 4 minutes, 4 seconds, Ryan. Well, you know, we were in a similar spot yesterday, just a lot of close games here in the P-League of just games coming down to the wire. So we'll see which team is fresher and is able to execute down the stretch better to get higher quality shots.
So as of right now, just a warning. So the scorers table actually had to manage the clock a little bit. Been informed by the MC. Dawson trying to spin around Calvin. The double comes. Dreamers still hanging on, but Ryan throws it into the hands of the Dreamers. They kind of had the matchup they wanted. Doug from the left side is out. Kenny now with a lane, but out of bounds. Dawson with a good save there.
And that would have been a big shot by Doug Creighton, that he had that one lined up, and he doesn't miss too many good looks like that one. It could have extended this Lioneers lead, as we see Dawson will check out, and he did a great job those last few minutes. He brought in some energy and helped create some things defensively and offensively for his squad.
Gee, Doug only 1 for 7 as Aji lets it fly. It's out. Now Bullard back in the game. But it's going to be a high pick and roll.
Oh, they missed him originally.
Flyby, and Evan passes it out. Greenhall to the basket. No good. And there's Bullard. Tie game. But they're going to go to the monitor.
If it was still above the cylinder when Bular touched it, then it'd be an offensive goaltending. That might be what they're looking at.
Well, the scorers did not put 2 points on, so they're indeed waving it off.
Ooh, that looks...
Oh, he had his hand on the rim.
Ah, yeah. So it looked like the ball had left the cylinder.
Which is okay.
But that right hand grabbing on to help him sort of last up there another split second to tip that in.
So if you count violations as a turnover, there's one more. Doug will not save it out of bounds. Calvin did not catch it cleanly, so back-to-back turnovers for the teams combined.
See what the Lioneers have here. That last play, I felt like they had a good pick and roll up top to a back screen for Bular to try to help him get open, and they missed him originally when they did that cross-court pass. So see if they go to it again. Yep.
Mirhal will fire from deep.
And I felt like they had their bread and butter down low, one-on-one steal under the basket.
Over to Boyd, blocked from behind by Bular. Lioneers swarm by the Dreamers, so they slow it up. Just like that, we are under 2.5 minutes. They get it to Bular on the swing. No look pass, Evan erased by Boyd. And here come the Dreamers. Calvin to the rim and another block. I don't think we're going to see another score in this game, Kirk.
I don't know. The defense is stepping up and making all the highlight plays today. Just 3 amazing blocks, all within about 30 seconds apart. Bular on one side to start it off, and then Boyd wiping and cleaning the glass, and then Ryan, much to the delight of the home crowd, having a nice block on Calvin and transition.
I guess added points being number 7. Deep inbounds, Boyd will try once again, and still cold from the outside. Quite frankly, I don't even know why the Dreamers team even allows them to take those shots.
Well, I don't know. They've gotten so many offensive rebounds afterwards, so it's almost like that's a part of their strategy.
Deep pass, and Evan stopped for now by Calvin. The Dreamers only with 1 team foul, so kind of makes sense that the Lioneers want to execute their plan. Mirhal with a step back, no good, and a foul on the loose ball.
Great job by Ming-Yi, just doing those little extra things, and found himself under the basket, able to grab it. And we'll see if the Lioneers will have that baseline inbounds. See if they're able to stop Bular, who's already trying to fight for his inside position on this inbounds play. 1 minute and 23, so not very many possessions left. Got to take advantage of each one. 3 Dreamers bodies all around Sim Bular. We'll see if he can get his hands up.
Through the middle, Kenny got his hands on it, and Aji with the possession. Now guarded by Mirhal. Boyd left open, his 3, still no good.
Yeah, Boyd shaking his head. He knows, he believes he's confident enough to knock down those shots. It just hasn't fallen today, as the Lioneers will get the possession back.
And 0 for 11, quite horrendous shooting. Originally we were complimenting them, but the Dreamers now overall 9 for 40. A couple of those falls, they're sitting pretty with 1:05 left, but credits to the Lioneers fighting really hard on the defensive end and pushing it up court, forcing the Dreamers maybe lose their legs in transition. They do have 1 day off from their last game on Friday. previously, we had a low three-point shooting contest where myself and my colleague in the league, Quan, were keeping our eyes on that low shooting percentage in a previous game. And the anemic shot making in the Plus League is continuing to this day. Timeout on the floor as the MC tries to get some energy in the crowd. So you gotta sense that everybody right now is fatigued. And that low and three-point shooting was the Lioneers against the Braves on Christmas Day. They ended the game shooting 5 for 30, which is only 16%. And so far in this one, only 2 for 23 for 8.7%.
Yeah, it's been a rough night. It's hard to play back-to-back, but still, they have had opportunities. Ryan, you know, hit their first three-point shot. And, you know, they have enough shooters on this Lioneers team to do better than that. And they're going to have to figure out ways to do better because with Bular in there grabbing a lot of attention in the paint, they're going to have to rely on three-point shooting when the defense collapses to stop him. And so it's the players' responsibility, and they do have a deep bench, and they got to stay fresh and be able to knock down shots. And see Elliot Tan come back in the game right now. He's one that will be looking to try to help stretch the floor.
He's only taken 3 shots so far in this game, and not any for points. LA inbounds it to Ryan. They're trying to look for Bular on the left block. Mimi trying to shake Achi. His shot is short, and Boyd, to his credit, has been a good rebounder for the Dreamers.
Yeah, most definitely. That's after a timeout. That's a hard shot to live with. Mingy trying to take and make a step back three-pointer. Just not what's been working for them today.
Boyd, shot number 12 is still no. In under 40 seconds. Evan saves it, but right to a Dreamer, while Elliott gets it back. So in the scramble, they're gonna go to Bular. Crowd, Kenny. We have a tie game with 20 seconds left. Bular this time, instead of a chance to tie like yesterday, this is a chance to go ahead.
What a crazy possession. You had Ming-Yi throw the ball forward to Evans, who couldn't control it. Evans throws it back in the court so they don't lose possession. And Elliot Tan probably comes up with the biggest steal of the day, which leads to the Bular and one opportunity to tie it and now potentially take the lead.
Already with 10 makes at the line. It's not 11. And the Dreamers got to be aware of time. They've already been called for a number of shot clock violations. Even though Boyd's been called outside, Bular foot on the three-point line. The double thumbs almost thrown out of bounds. Kenny, 2 seconds left. Can he get it off in time? He does, but it's a miss forced by Bular.
Wow.
We're going to be going to overtime.
Not a bad look at all. Kenny Chen going to the basket, and definitely not an easy shot over Bular. And what a closeout finish to tie the game and see extra minutes. We'll see who has the legs left.
换个角度想，今天买票的朋友，你们赚到了，可以多看5分钟。来看一下呢，现场的朋友来听音乐来。
75-75, the Lioneers and Dreamers in the first 协流成河. And it's met expectations and more. Quite frankly, it's pretty incredible that we are right now 21 games into the season and already the third overtime after last season. 48 games, no overtime. But I mean, in some sense, you got a feeling it's kind of poor execution down the stretch by both teams.
Yeah, both teams maybe showing some nerves there at the end and just not able to knock down some of the shots they normally would. Some missed free throws and turnovers, but you know what we don't lack in the P-League is just the will to win, and both teams just trying to fight and claw to earn every point. And 75-75 at the end of regulation, but these teams have had to work hard for every single point they've made today, and no easy possessions.
You made a good point that Elliott gambled on that last steal attempt. You said, I thought that he was in perfect position for the steal, but you also pointed out even if he did get the steal, he was coming so hard he might get the foul and stop the clock, which down by just 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran player. He knows they're down by 2 points, so he doesn't want them to go down and score a quick point. So either way, he's flying in there. He's either going to foul them and stop the clock and let them set up defense to foul again, or try to go for the steal. And he was lucky he came up with the steal, and they were able to push the ball back and tie the game.
As a reminder, both teams have their short 30-second timeout. Only one foul to give. Boyd gives way to Gilbeck. Bullard, the import for the Lioneers, as Kenny is trying to probe for space. High off the backboard. Gilbeck could not finish it. So a successful defensive possession by the Lioneers to open up overtime.
Ooh, a lot of contact and holding. And they're going to get it that time. It seems like Bullard trying to expect it, trying to bait Gilbeck into this hold right here, but just a lot of contact for the refs to be watching out for as they fight for position.
We also see that Bullard was grasping at Gilbeck too. Running low on time, Calvin guarding Ryan. Goes to the lane and lays it in. Lioneers with the lead.
Ryan just with so much strength and body control to just fend off the defense of Calvin.
Now an offensive foul. Gilbeck will be out of the game. As we see somehow Evan end up on the ground next to Limi, the player that was fouled.
Yeah, Ryan had slipped down there after he made this incredible shot and crafty move. And so they do have a wet spot on the floor that they're going to fix now. And I would say that is tough for, you know, just a little bit of movement as you're trying to fight through the screen. So Gilbeck will have to watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
He ends his night with 4 points and 6 rebounds. Lioneers already with a 2-point lead, trying to extend it. Elliott driving around, lays it with the left hand, no. Dreamers team rebound, want to go with pace. Over to Doug. He slows it up. Boyd, 13th three attempt, finally goes down, and the Dreamers take the 1-point lead.
And in his head, he's saying, shooters keep shooting. Eventually, one's going to go in. You miss every shot you don't take. And so Boyd finally gets one at the most opportune moment.
I guess it took overtime to get the stroke to work. Elliott with a tough step back. Bullard missed the first time, the second time. Finally finishes at the rim. This outstanding.
That's one way to get more rebounds.
Now Bular fouls Boyd on the blow-by. Only a 1-point lead. Just trying to stop the action, though. I would have wondered if they wanted to save it. Good determination by Bular as he fought through a lot of contact up top.
Yeah, he certainly did. And he's going to get a little bit of a rest here. Might be battling some cramps. Back-to-back games, overtime game. That's a lot of load for him in the last 2 days.
Frenetic chant for Brendan Dawson coming into the game as a volunteer cleans up the floor. Aji to inbound, running out of time, gets to Calvin.
This matchup has been won inside, you know, there's games inside the games, and this matchup right here has been a great battle today.
Running low on time, 2-1. Calvin able to lay it in. Boyd with a nice find.
Yeah, he just got lost somewhere as the team switched on a drive, and Calvin able to find that layup just as time expires.
If you saw them going by, Bular stretching out that left leg. Like Kirk said, might be cramped.
Oh my.
Random throw, but Evans saves it once again. Goes with a step back, it's short. Will be a shot clock violation.
Evans came back in out of bounds. He was open originally. You just want to have the confidence to shoot that first shot.
Got a feeling he's been passing that one up all season long. Only a 1 for 6 night from beyond the arc. Lingyi on Calvin with the size advantage, but they forego that. Aji will fire quickly from 3, clank it out. Lioneers in no hurry, less than 2 minutes. They get the switch. It's Ryan from inside the 3-point arc. Will take the slow shot, leave it short.
It's a tough shot. Extended minutes and legs are tired. You got to try to put a little bit of extra on it late in the game.
Aji using Boyd's screening action. Loses it for a second. Loose ball on the floor. And Doug pokes it out of bounds, but they're saying it's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, I don't know if that was enough possession on the pass to be able to reset the shot clock when you're diving on the floor and trying to save the ball. So it should stay with the Lioneers.
And down by 1, Bular is checking back in the game.
Got to make the most of these moments. Minute and 9 seconds. Lioneers need to execute their best play, and for the Dreamers, they're looking for just one or two more key stops. They got the lead.
We haven't seen Derek Bidowe in almost all of the second half. He's still on the bench. Greenhall trying to put the moves on Calvin. To the corner, Elliott's 3, it's in! So with a 2-point lead, less than a minute left.
He's clutch, he's hit him before, and he's struggled so far here tonight, but at the biggest moment, Elliott with the biggest shot.
Lioneers get the rebound, but they have 1 possession before the Dreamers get a last chance.
Want to waste time, but you want to also get a good shot. Only up by 2 points, you don't want to leave it in the Dreamers' hands.
Elliott spinning, fading, bouncing out, and Greenhall fouled and one. With one hand, puts it back in.
And that just sums up these Lioneers. You know, they're relentless. Have they had a good shooting night? No. Are they tired after a tough loss from last night to the Steelers? Yes, they're exhausted, but they have continued to fight and continued to allow themselves to stay in this game. And now all of a sudden with 19 seconds left, they have their biggest lead of the game.
Weak side not staying attached, and the rookie might be the #1 guy, and I guess the late game hero for this one.
You see Oscar over there on the bench cheering his team on, trying to get these fans hyped for how they've played. 19 seconds though, still a long time, especially with the Dreamers and all that they have with the three-point shooting to get back in this game. Quick shot and foul, and hope that the Lioneers will miss their free throws.
The Dreamers call timeout. Like you said, Kirk, it's only a 2-possession game right now. But the Dreamers, in all of overtime, have not been able to get their pace going, have ended up slowing it down. So are they able to turn it up in the end?
Yeah, I think the Lioneers defense in that fourth quarter was just enough to try to slow down the Dreamers, and who just didn't make the same shots that they created the same shots in the fourth quarter. They just, you know, the Lioneers' intensity on defense was able to force a few extra misses and allow them to get back in that fourth quarter. And then in overtime, the Lioneers just kept riding off the momentum that they gained at the end of the regulation.
10 points for the Lioneers in overtime on 4 of 11 shooting. Meanwhile, the Dreamers have only taken 6 shots. The Lioneers with 5 offensive rebounds, 3 by Bular, and I guess the scramble that he had playing a one-man game, but crucially, first overall selection, Zhu Yunhao with a big rebound, and then the one-handed putback.
Yeah, there's so many little things in the game of basketball, and the P.LEAGUE has so many different qualities to it too. And you know, there's more than one way to win a basketball game, and you got to do a lot of the little stuff that help you gain more possessions and get more shots. And you know, we've seen a lot of big plays that necessarily weren't shots, but big rebounds and big steals that have changed the outcome of this game.
The Dreamers will inbound. Calvin running low on time, finally gets it in, but Evan is there. No, Xiao Sun-yi gets ahead of it and calls the player timeout.
Yeah, some miscommunication and guys cutting into lanes, and good active hands by the Lioneers. Force a steal.
Quite fitting for the Lioneers and the Lioneers fans to see their former guy, Calvin Chen Lihuan, commit the inbounds turnover on the pass.
Yeah, he has the height to see over that inbound defender. I don't know if it would have been easier to force it through there with a bounce pass, but just not a good look as Lioneers were able to get their hands on it.
So previously, the Dreamers had 2 wins in 3 away games. But that is quickly slipping through their fingers, and as is possibly the #1 spot in the Plus League through 5 weeks, almost 6 weeks now.
Yeah, it's a different type of focus that sometimes the away teams have, and they're able to squeak out wins on the road. Some players like the challenge of playing in a different arena and playing against certain opponents or certain fans from different arenas.
This defensive unit by the Dreamers includes Derek pressuring the inbound. Dawson to Elliott in the corner, and Doug, all he could do is commit the foul. But perhaps in a made free throw, 2 made free throws will ice the game. Lioneers with a 5-point lead.
So here's a little story for you, Ryan. Elliott Tan at the free throw line. My senior year of high school, we were both in the same tournament in Japan, and he beat me in a free throw contest. I missed 17, and he made, I made 17 out of 20, he made 19 out of 20. So we'll see if anything's changed.
Well,
maybe,
he did miss one.
Maybe I jinxed him. Well, he made 19 out of 20. We'll see if he can miss 2. Then it can happen.
He does go 1 for 2.
Not happy with himself, but that does extend it. Still a 2-possession game. Need 2 threes, so it'd have to be a super quick shot. You don't want to count the Dreamers out too soon with all the firepower they have from the perimeter.
No guards for the Lioneers as Calvin gets it to Kenny, to Achi. Jay on the fly by overshoots it. It'll be an air ball. It does not fall straight out of bounds, so more time off the clock.
Yep, and that should just about seal it for the Lioneers. And you got to give a lot of credit to the Dreamers. I mean, they led most of the way, and just tough plays on the last possession of the 4th quarter, but they really came in here and had a game plan. And it worked for the first, 36 minutes as they dominated this game. And the Lioneers just able to persevere in the 4th quarter and bounce back and get just enough to force overtime. But what an exciting day here in the P-League.
It is currently 5:13, and this contest has finally come to a close. The 2 rivals on the edge of the playoff contention for last season, currently sitting at 1 and 2 respectively, but the Lioneers get the best out of the Dreamers in overtime. Crucially down the stretch, Dreamers with that 2-point lead that they could not hold on to. Dawson in the end on 1 before regulation. Then in overtime, it was Zhu Hao who came in clutch, able to take advantage of space. We saw previously Brendan Smart send the game to overtime for the Braves as the offensive rebounder and getting the 2-point putback.
These 2 teams play against each other next week again, so I'd expect another great matchup.
Thanks to our colleagues on the Mandarin broadcast, and indeed, Zhu Hao will be the player interviewed at the end of this one. Asked about their defeat on Saturday, but coming out with a home split.
就是职业场上的节奏吧，还有一些身体对抗。那这2天可能手感比较不好，就希望可以在其他方面去帮助到球队。
Zhu Hao expressing he's not playing great, but he's trying to find different ways to help the team win. Asked about his emotions immediately on the putback.
就希望赶快听到犯规就把球丢出去，就算运气好了，然后把球投进这样。
Zhu Hao admitting it wasn't a shot so much as a prayer in a sense. Now Xiaohu, who's known Zhu Hao for all of his collegiate career, asking about trying to get integrated with the Lioneers system, having a little bit of a longer takeoff than some of other plus league draftees. Zhu Hao saying the defense is going to be his first priority. And admitting that, just like all Taiwanese players, just trying to execute the mission the coaches give him. Thanks for Xiao Zhu for joining our post-game coverage. We'll go to break before wrapping this up from Hsinchu. In the lowest scoring overtime game in Plus League history, the Lioneers able to prevail on the ends. They grabbed what would be a record 72 rebounds. There's actually a lot of team rebounds that we'll need to double check with our broadcast partners. Meanwhile, for the Dreamers, only 25% shooting from three-point range was not good enough to come away with a victory. But yeah. Kirk, your first taste of the Lioneers matchup.
Yeah, I mean, is a good matchup, and both teams would have liked to shoot the ball a little bit better from the outside. But I think there are a lot of adjustments inside the game defensively to combat what they were doing, and these teams both worked hard.
That'll be it for us on the broadcast. On behalf of the league, the teams, we'll see you guys in the next one.